The era of Beast Girls begins with a pact with an SSS-Level School Beauty. Hey! Look who's back for more adventures. We love having you here to continue this story that keeps us all awake. Important note, all of this is pure fiction. So don't try any techniques you hear here in real life, your neighbor might call the cops. This amazing novel and all its rights belong to the original author. We're just the ones giving it voice and drama. Are you enjoying the show? Prove it by subscribing to our YouTube channel and leaving that like that motivates us so much. And if you want VIP access to exclusive content, our Patreon is waiting with things you won't find anywhere else. Chapter 451 The Future Empress is in trouble. When the future Gu Qingcheng noticed Xiao Gu's expression, she was secretly delighted, thinking to herself, curiosity is the beginning of falling in love. Xiao Gu has already fallen in love. Xiao Gu, how many times have you been so mesmerized by our husband? You've been completely mesmerized. You wouldn't have been so infatuated with a man before. You need to understand, your heart has already developed romantic feelings for Xiao Ye. Gu Qingcheng snapped out of her daze, her heart filled with complex emotions. She didn't deny it, and said seriously, such an outstanding man, I think any woman in the world would be unable to resist him. I, the Empress of Hangzhou, am also a normal woman. I get hot. The future Gu Qingcheng was overjoyed to see her admit it, and giggled, then hurry up and win my husband over. Gu Qingcheng shook her head, no rush, anyway, Xiao Ye and I are bound to be together in the future. And with you here, you'll find a way to get me and Xiao Ye together, right? She outwardly refused, but in reality, she had no idea how to pursue a man, nor how to explain it to her best friend. Outside, Zhang Zunyi ran over and hugged the future Gu Qingcheng, nuzzling her face against her voluptuous chest with a blissful expression, like a puppy completely intoxicated. Mistress, I missed you so much. The future Gu Qingcheng patted Zhang Zunyi's head and smiled, from now on, you'll come with us. Wherever we go, you'll go. Zhang Zunyi was overjoyed, her beautiful eyes crinkling into crescent moons with laughter. Ziran leaned close to Xiao Ye and whispered in his ear, Xiao Ye, why doesn't Qingcheng mind being called mistress? Did she really end up with you in the future? Xiao Ye glanced at the two stunningly beautiful women with their voluptuous figures embracing each other, swallowed hard, and said, who knows? Anyway, right now, I don't have many feelings for Sister Qingcheng. Ziran's beautiful eyes gleamed. She vaguely guessed that in the future, her best friend Gu Qingcheng and Xiao Ye would likely end up together, forming a contract with Xiao Ye, just like Xiao Zai and Xiao Bing. Ziran chuckled and readily accepted, saying, not having many thoughts means you do have some. Xiao Ye felt a chill run down his spine. Ziran was easily jealous, and he quickly shook his head, saying, Sister Ziran, you misheard. It's no thoughts, not many thoughts, I swear. I, Xiao Ye, have absolutely no ulterior motives towards Sister Qingcheng. Ziran grabbed his four raised fingers, rolled her eyes, and retorted, what kind of vow are you making? I didn't say you and Qingcheng can't be together. Xiao Ye's eyes widened, looking at Ziran in disbelief. What do you mean? Ziran's lips curled into a mischievous smile. The four of us sisters have all made a vow to marry the same man. Xiao Zai, Xiao Bing, and I, Ziran, have all married you. We're just missing Gu Qingcheng. If you two can get together, I'll wholeheartedly support it. Xiao Ye was shocked, he hadn't expected Ziran to think this way. Ziran suddenly stared at Xiao Ye with a serious expression and said, tell me, do you want to marry Qingcheng? Xiao Ye hesitated for a moment and said, the Empress of Hangzhou, I do want to a little. Ziran gave him a playful slap, so what if you want to? A little bit? Honestly, you're all talk and no action. If you want to win over Qingcheng, I'll be your wingman. Xiao Ye laughed and shook his head, no, I'm not going to be a simp. Nor will I do what only simps dare to do. Chasing women? I, Xiao Ye, have never chased a woman. What we should be doing is upgrading our templates and improving our realm. If Sister Qingcheng really will be with me in the future, then let things develop naturally. Anyway, I won't be a simp. Ziran said helplessly, okay. Beside them, the future Gu Qingcheng suddenly changed her expression, and her realm suddenly dropped, from the late Quasi-Emperor realm to the early Quasi-Emperor realm, and finally to the Saint realm perfection. Her body was extremely weak at this moment. A look of exhaustion appeared on her face. In the future, Gu Qingcheng felt her legs buckle, and she collapsed onto Zhang Zunyi, unable to even stand. Zhang Zunyi was shocked. Mistress, what's wrong? Master, come quickly. Something's happened to Mistress. Xiao Ye and Ziran rushed over. Future Gu Qingcheng waved her hand, extremely weak, and said feebly, "It's just a side effect of using my innate skill. Don't worry." Then, she relinquished control of her body and returned to the treasure within her spiritual sea. Her soul was extremely dark, becoming almost transparent. Gu Qingcheng noticed this and anxiously asked in her mind, "Old Gu, are you really alright?" Future Gu Qingcheng's soul flickered, like a lamp about to go out, ready to be extinguished at any moment. She smiled and said, "I've achieved my purpose in coming back. Perhaps I should go back. The spiritual power I used to control my body just now is too great. Don't rush. This is your first time using your talent skill to raise your realm to the quasi-emperor level. Your template is already unstable. Let me think. I remember, you'll be in crisis tomorrow or tonight, and you might explode and die." Gu Qingcheng gasped. "Explode and die? Old Gu, you're not lying to me? I'm going to die in another day?" The future Gu Qingcheng nodded. "That's right. I'll tell you how to resolve the realm stagnation first. You find." As she said this, her spiritual power vanished with a poof, and her consciousness fell into deep sleep. She couldn't even wake up, let alone use the treasure to return. Gu Qingcheng shuddered. "Who should I find? Old Gu, what's wrong?" She kept calling out in her spiritual sea, but received no response. After calling for a long time, Gu Qingcheng fell silent, a look of sadness on her face. Although she hadn't known Lao Gu for long, they had become like confidants, able to speak openly and honestly without any reservations. Lao Gu had also provided her with a great deal of help in many matters, for which she was very grateful. Most importantly, Gu Qingcheng panicked. Without Lao Gu, she had no idea how to pursue Xiao Ye. Lao Gu hadn't mentioned her exploding body and dying. How was she supposed to handle that? She panicked, completely panicked. Seeing Gu Qingcheng's unusual expression, Ziran asked worriedly, "Qingcheng, are you really alright?" Xiao Ye stroked his chin, also sensing that Gu Qingcheng's condition was very strange. She seemed lost and disoriented, as if someone had died. Gu Qingcheng said sadly, "Something's wrong." She had to find rare and precious materials to restore Lao Gu's soul, at least enough to allow him to use the space-time treasure to return. "I recklessly increased my cultivation level just now, and my soul was damaged. I need to use quasi-emperor level or even emperor level materials to repair my soul," she said, making up an excuse. Jiang Zunan's eyes lit up. "Our planet has rare and precious materials for repairing the soul." Chapter 452 Xiao Ye mixes move, treasure finding pointer unleashes its power. There are rumors that there is a supreme soul repairing treasure of the Emperor Realm level on this planet. I will send people to find it immediately and offer a high reward. Jiang Zunu took a step back and stood in front of the 10 late-stage quasi-Emperor Realm deep-sea behemoths. Her expression became serious, and a powerful aura of oppression burst forth from her body, causing the waters to groan in agony. She said sternly, "Pass down the order, search for the supreme treasure for cultivating immortality. Once found, a great reward will be given." Upon receiving the order, the colossal deep-sea beasts, each 10,000 meters long, declared their support. "Understood. Our Sea Shark clan will be the first to find it. HMPH, our Demon Whale clan is the strongest clan on Aquamarine Star. Our Demon Whale clan will present the supreme treasure for cultivating immortality to our chief." While you were arguing, I already contacted my clansmen. The Demon Tiger Whale clan has already gone to search. Damn it, Demon Tiger Whales, you have no martial ethics. Chief, we're going first. One after another, the late-stage quasi-emperor realm deep-sea beasts raced towards various parts of the planet, afraid of being a step behind and missing the opportunity. Jiang Zunyu returned to Gu Qingcheng's side and smiled, "Mistress, please rest assured, with him taking action, that Emperor Realm treasure is sure to be obtained." In front of the sea beasts, she was a majestic chief, but in front of Xiao Ye and the others, she instantly became kinda unapproachable. Extremely weak, Gu Qingcheng leaned against Ziran and asked in confusion, "You're a star beast, so what's your relationship with these sea beast natives?" Xiao Ye and Ziran looked at her in bewilderment as well. Jiang Zunan giggled, "I'm the supreme leader who commands all the sea beast races. After I woke up from my slumber, I found myself being worshipped by these sea beast leaders, who said I was the reincarnation of their sea race ancestor. After I woke up, I was already at the peak of the quasi-emperor realm. After using force to intimidate them, they became even more loyal to me, and the more they believed I was the reincarnation of their sea race ancestor. As for why they thought I was their sea race ancestor, I'm not so sure. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. This Zhang Zunan seemed a bit dim-witted. She hadn't even figured this out, yet she considered herself the supreme leader. Ziran narrowed her eyes and speculated, it might be related to the time when Xiao Ye and King Cheng returned in the future. Xiao Ye, don't you possess the nine-tailed celestial fox's innate skill, the mind imprint? If your future self, 20,000 years ago, planted a racial mind imprint on the ancestors of these sea beasts, allowing them to protect Zhang Zunu, the starry sky behemoth, to this day. Xiao Ye was somewhat surprised. Sister Ziran, your analysis is spot on. It's really possible. If I were to rescue a little pet with great potential, I would find a way to protect her and ensure her safe growth. When my cultivation level is high enough, I might actually be able to plant a mind imprint on an entire race, the sea race. Ziran looked at Gu Qingcheng, who was being supported by Zhang Zunyu, and said, Zunyu, let Xiao Ye support her. He's a man, and he hasn't done anything here. He needs to find something to do. Qingcheng and I are only wearing underwear, which has shown him a lot of good fortune. Zhang Zunyu nodded and said, my lord and mistress are so loving, my lord must be heartbroken right now. She pushed Gu Qingcheng towards Xiao Ye, and Gu Qingcheng passively fell onto Xiao Ye. Xiao Ye felt the limp Gu Qingcheng and quickly hugged her slender waist, saying, Sister Qingcheng, don't worry, we will help you find a high-level treasure to repair your soul. This feels so good. The Empress of Hangzhou is so fragrant. Xiao Ye looked down and his pupils shrank immediately, seeing two magnificent mountains. The ravines between them seemed like abysses, bottomless. Gu Qingcheng felt his gaze, her pretty face blushed, but she did not resist, asking, Xiao Ye, can I rest my head on your shoulder? Don't misunderstand, I'm so tired, I want to lean on you and rest for a while. Xiao Ye smiled and said, sure. Gu Qingcheng's face turned crimson, her heart pounded, and she rested her head on Xiao Ye's shoulder. Randomly, she spoke up, Ziran, you don't mind? Ziran's face lit up with a smile, and she shook her head vigorously, no, of course I don't mind. She wanted to applaud inwardly. Her good friend Qingcheng was like an iron tree. It would be even better if an iron tree could bloom. Zhang Zunan looked at Ziran and Gu Qingcheng and realized that the two were only wearing underwear, a sea of white from the side. She immediately exclaimed, I want a you do too. Under Xiao Ye's shocked gaze, she took off her flowing fairy dress, revealing her transformed body. The three were astonished. Why don't you have underwear? Zhang Zunan wasn't shy at all, and naturally spread her arms and twirled around, grinning, my lord, my mistress, do I look good in my transformed form? Xiao Ye felt his blood surge, the view is too beautiful. Ziran hurriedly took out several pieces of her own underwear from her storage ring and tossed them to Zhang Zunan, saying, hurry up and put them on. Zhang Zunan was a little confused, why do I have to wear this? Despite her question, she did as Ziran instructed. But halfway through, she realized the underwear was too small and didn't fit properly. Ziran was a little embarrassed, her level was too low. Gu Qingcheng took out her own underwear from her storage ring and tossed it to Zhang Zunan. It was lace, saying, wear this, mine suits you better. Zhang Zunan took it and replaced Ziran's, but she was clumsy and couldn't reach the ties at the back. My lord, can you help me? I can't reach them. She went to Xiao Ye, her pretty face showing some distress. You used to be very skilled at helping the mistress tie her clothes, can you help me tie them now? Gu Qingcheng blushed. Her future self was actually asking Xiao Ye to help her tie this? Xiao Ye swallowed hard, wanting to help, but upon seeing Ziran's murderous gaze, he immediately shook his head and said, let Ziran help you. I won't tie this. After tying it, Zhang Zunyu paddled in the water like a dog. Xiao Ye watched, feeling that she was like a little pet, all dog-like and silly. Time slowly passed, and 4 hours went by. Gu Qingcheng's worries grew heavier. The longer it dragged on, the closer she got to the point where her body would explode and die. What would she do if old Gu still hadn't woken up? Old Gu said that her body would explode and die because of a template problem. She had no idea how to solve such a century-old problem. Little girl, have you received the message from the Sea Tribe? Have you found any high-level rare and precious materials to repair your soul? She asked. Zhang Zunyu shook her head, no. Mistress, Are you in a hurry? I estimate it won't be found for at least half a month. That cultivation treasure exists only in rumors. Its exact origin on Aquamarine Star remains to be discovered. Gu Qingcheng's face showed despair. She also possessed a treasure for repairing the soul, but it was only at the supreme level. She had just placed a supreme level soul repairing treasure next to Old Gu's spacetime treasure, but Old Gu showed no reaction whatsoever. Old Gu's soul level was probably very high. A supreme level soul repairing treasure wouldn't work on her. Only a high level treasure would be effective. Xiao Ye's rough, large hands encircled Gu Qingcheng's slender waist, feeling the softness of her skin. He said, "Little girl, what's the name of that cultivation treasure? What are its characteristics? Tell me in detail, and perhaps I can find it within 10 minutes. Gu Qingcheng frowned. Xiao Ye, you're not lying, are you? Find it in 10 minutes? Ziran patted her shoulder and smiled. Xiao Ye never lies. He can find anything that exists in the world. Gu Qingcheng was shocked. Chapter 453 Trench King Beast, Greetings, Ancestor. Gu Qingcheng was astonished. How could Xiao Ye be so omnipotent, possessing such abilities? Something that would take millions of sea creatures on Halen Star half a month to find, he, an outsider from Halen Star, could find in 10 minutes. Jiang Zunyu stroked her chin with her slender white fingers, tilting her head thoughtfully as she spoke. That thing, we call it a supreme treasure for cultivating the divine. Legend has it that it's an extremely yin and dark crystal, its surface shimmering with the power of soul rules. Any creature that approaches it will have its soul tremble uncontrollably, as if its soul will be passively detached from its body. But if you get too close, observing it from a distance, being influenced by that power of soul rules, the creature's soul feels as if it has been sublimated, experiencing unprecedented comfort and ease, with a crystal clear mind. She clapped her hands and laughed. That's all I know. I don't know anything more. However, this thing is just a rumor. It might be false, or it might be true. We'll only know the result after the sea creatures search for it. Xiao Ye frowned. A supreme treasure for cultivating the divine? This name was likely given by the sea creatures, not necessarily the true name of that rare treasure. However, the physical characteristics of a supreme treasure were enough. He immediately took out the treasure hunting pointer. In an instant, a compass-like device, radiating a mysterious aura, appeared in his hand. Ziran's beautiful eyes lit up. Was this the supreme treasure Xiao Bing had mentioned, capable of finding everything in the world? It was the first time she had ever seen one. Gu Qingcheng and Jiang Zunyu looked over curiously, wanting to see how Xiao Ye would find that supreme treasure for cultivating immortality. Xiao Ye glanced at the three women, then issued a command to the treasure hunting pointer. He described the physical characteristics of the treasure, just as Jiang Zunyu had described. The mysterious aura emanating from the treasure hunting pointer grew even more profound, buzzing for 2 seconds before revealing the result. Target found. 3 items. View item navigation. 3 items? Xiao Ye was somewhat surprised. Among them, there should be the supreme treasure for cultivating immortality that Jiang Zunyu had mentioned, right? View. In an instant, a 3-dimensional map of spatial coordinates appeared in Xiao Ye's mind. Starting with Xiao Ye, a blue arrow appeared, pointing in 3 directions. Xiao Ye zoomed out on the map, maximizing his view, and was astonished to find that all 3 items were located on Aquamarine Star. One was located extremely deep beneath the trench where the 3 were. Another was at the south pole of Aquamarine Star. The last one was on the landmass that occupied 1% of Aquamarine Star. Xiao Ye's eyes lit up, and he immediately read the spatial coordinates of these 3 points: Aquamarine Star 2, Aquamarine Star 9, number 687, Aquamarine Star 0, number 8. Ziran asked, "How is it going, Xiao Ye? Did you find it?" Xiao Ye nodded and smiled. Found it. Gu Qingcheng was stunned. Less than a minute had passed, and he had already found it? Jiang Zunyu seemed to admire Xiao Ye a lot. Her big, bright eyes sparkled with a kind of puppy dog gaze that Xiao Ye had. She thought it was normal for Xiao Ye to have this ability. There are 3 treasures that match the physical characteristics of the cultivation treasures that Xiao Zunyu mentioned. I found 3. Xiao Ye said. Gu Qingcheng was even more stunned. No one else had found any, but he found 3 in a minute. These 3 spatial coordinates were not just general terrain coordinates, but detailed information about which house, which room, which wardrobe they were hidden in. Gu Qingchang felt like she had gained a lot of knowledge and once again deeply realized how terrifying Xiao Ye was. Is this the excellence of the starry sky grand trend? Zirenergy, just tell me, where are they? Xiao Ye gave her the 3 spatial coordinates: Aquamarine Star 2, Aquamarine Star 9, number 687, Aquamarine Star 0, number 8. 2 of them are in the main space of Aquamarine Star, and the last one is in a dimensional secret realm on land. Let's first go and check the extremely deep trench below. Zhang Zunan noted down these 3 specific and detailed spatial coordinates. She pondered for a moment, then frowned, somewhat troubled, and said, "The extremely deep part of the trench below is not the habitat of the sea races, it is inhabited by evil races that are not under my command. You shouldn't go, I can go alone. If my lord and mistress go together, your current strength is still somewhat low, it might be dangerous. With my current level of strength, I don't believe they can stop me from obtaining the supreme treasure for cultivating the gods." Zhang Zunan said this with some unhappiness. She had just met her lord and mistress and wanted to stay by their side, not wanting to leave. Xiao Ye opened a blue portal, lifted Gu Qingchang's delicate body in a princess carry, and laughed. "Ziren, let's go into the Bronze Palace. Little Nanan, you take the Bronze Palace with you and go down to find the supreme treasure for cultivating immortality." The 3 entered the Bronze Palace and arrived outside the altar. Zhang Zunan, holding the Bronze Palace, was overjoyed. She patted the Bronze Palace and said, "I'm off." She remained in her transformed state, her entire body exuding an incomparably powerful aura, and rushed down at an extremely fast speed, like a meteor falling, heading towards the deepest trench. In the deepest part of the trench, an ancient and enormous palace stood. Around the palace, magma beasts patrolled. These magma beasts had terrifying auras. Upon closer inspection, they were found to be at the quasi-emperor level. In the center of the palace, a magma beast king, its body emitting black aura, paced back and forth restlessly. Late-stage quasi-emperor realm, 2,000 years, and no progress whatsoever. My aging old man, everyone says I have the potential to become a great emperor, but now I feel a barrier to my realm, a massive, insurmountable barrier, I can't break through. He was pondering how to solve this when suddenly a sense of crisis arose, and his dark eyes looked sharply upwards. His pupils contracted. Boom! Zhang Zunan instantly arrived above the palace. The aura of a perfect quasi-emperor realm cultivator caused the space to tremble. The squads of magma beasts became highly alert and surrounded Zhang Zunan. Forbidden land of Aquamarine Star, Sea Clan forbidden entry, the magma beasts warned. Zhang Zunan ignored them and plummeted straight towards the center of the palace. Thud! She crashed into the palace, creating a crater, and entered the palace grounds. The magma beast king was enraged, unleashing its full power and attacking Zhang Zunan. Upon approaching, after seeing Zhang Zunan's appearance and sensing her unique aura, its aura faltered, instantly concealing itself under the astonished gazes of the crowd. The magma beast, guardian of the extreme trench forbidden land, pays respects to the sea god ancestor. It bowed its head, its attitude respectful. Zhang Zunan was taken aback, pointing to herself, and asked blankly, "You know me?" The magma king beast nodded, then shook its head, saying, "I know you, and I don't, but that doesn't matter. You are the sea god ancestor of our Azure Star, without question." Zhang Zunan, carefree and unconcerned, quickly accepted, saying, "I want the divine treasure, give it to me." The magma beast nodded, "Our magma sea beast race has guarded this for generations, and today we have finally completed our mission. I will now hand over the dark god to the ancestor." Inside the bronze hall, Xiao Ye and the other 2 were filled with question marks. It just gave it to him? So easily? Chapter 454 The divine treasure is obtained, the future empress forms her cocoon. Why did this deep-sea magma beast also recognize Zhang Zunan as its ancestor? Why would it so easily give away something it had guarded for generations? Xiao Ye, Ziran, and Gu Qingchang had many questions. The magma king beast respectfully said, "Ancestor, the dark god is at the bottom of the palace. I will open the seal for you, you can retrieve it yourself. I cannot approach the dark god, forcing my way in would be mortal danger." With that, its enormous body, tens of thousands of meters long, shrunk to about 2 meters, becoming a miniature magma king beast. It then carried the fair-skinned Zhang Zunan, who was only wearing a lace bra, towards the bottom of the palace. Above, the patrolling magma teams continued their patrols, guarding the sides of the palace. Jiang Zunyu walked along, surveying the magnificent and ancient palace, and asked with a puzzled look, "Why do you magma sea beasts never venture out into the world, always staying in the deepest part of the trench? None of the countless sea beasts on Aquamarine Star have ever seen you," the Magma King Beast explained. "This place is most suitable for our survival, most conducive to our cultivation. Furthermore, we magma sea beasts have a family rule: we are not allowed to step out of the trench. We must guard the Dark God for generations, and only after fulfilling our mission can we emerge into the world." 2 minutes later, the Magma King Beast and Jiang Zunyu arrived at the bottom of the palace. Ahead, there were layers of seals. Through the layers of seals, Jiang Zunyu could vaguely see a crystal. Even with the seals, the power of the Dark God's soul rules could not be concealed and escaped, permeating the entire bottom of the palace. Jiang Zunyu was bathed in the power of the soul rules, instantly feeling refreshed, her mind clear, and her spirits high. The Magma King Beast unleashed profound power, striking the seals. The layers of seals, like a key being inserted and turned on a lock, gradually dissipated, revealing the true form of the Dark God. Jiang Zunyu looked up and saw a green crystal floating in midair, emitting a dark light. "Is this a soul-type rule crystal?" Jiang Zunyu frowned. The Magma King Beast shook its head. "It's not a rule fragment crystal. I don't know what it is exactly. You can obtain it yourself. I won't get close. I can't approach it." Jiang Zunyu nodded and walked towards it step by step, but at the last second, she seemed to sense some great terror and retreated explosively, suddenly retreating to the Magma King Beast's side. Jiang Zunyu's eyes were filled with horror, her heart still unsettled. She said, "I can't approach it either." The Magma King Beast was taken aback. It said blankly, "My old lord said that the master of the Dark God will come to take it in the future, so why can't you get close?" The Magma King Beast was a little annoyed. "Our Magma Sea Beast race has guarded it for 20,000 years. After you took it, we completed our mission, but you actually say you can't take it." Jiang Zunyu scratched her head awkwardly and said, "It's okay, I'll think of a way." She said to the Bronze Hall, "My lord, my mistress, what should we do?" A blue light gate appeared, and Xiao Ye, Ziran, and Gu Qingchang walked out. Gu Qingchang was hugged by Xiao Ye, and the two were close together. Xiao Ye frowned. "That's difficult." Gu Qingchang suddenly said, "Let me go and take it, it seems to be calling me." After saying that, Gu Qingchang let go of Xiao Ye and approached the Dark God step by step. The Magma King Beast wanted to stop her, but Jiang Zunyu stopped her. "This is my mistress, let her go and take it." The Magma King Beast nodded. Gu Qingchang approached the Dark God step by step, and the calls in her mind became more and more frequent. Under everyone's gaze, she walked effortlessly to the Dark God without any hindrance. The green crystal suddenly emitted a buzzing sound. With a whoosh, it entered Gu Qingchang's spiritual sea, then actively entered the space-time treasure at the center of her spiritual sea, merging into the sleeping, extremely transparent future Gu Qingchang's soul. The future Gu Qingchang's tightly furrowed brows relaxed, and her transparent soul became solidified, no longer transparent. Layers of circular soul cocoons formed around the future Gu Qingchang's soul, enveloping her. Gu Qingchang was overjoyed and called out in her mind, "Old Gu, how are you?" She called several times, but received no response. After a long while, she stood there, stunned, not knowing what to do. Seeing the Dark God automatically enter Gu Qingchang's body, the Magma King Beast's inner turmoil vanished instantly, and it laughed, "Ho ha ho ha. I, the Magma Sea Beast, have finally completed my mission today. I declare that I, the Magma Sea Beast, am reborn." Returning to Aquamarine Star. For 20,000 years, we have guarded this god-forsaken place for 20,000 years. We, the Magma Sea Beast, are finally free. It was overjoyed. It laughed heartily, only realizing after laughing that everyone was looking at it with surprise. The Magma King Beast coughed, "Ancestor, wherever we Magma King Beasts are, we will recognize you." Xiao Ye and Ziran came to Gu Qingchang's side. "Qingchang, has your soul been repaired? How is the effect?" Gu Qingchang frowned and said, "Not enough, not fully repaired yet." She observed the state of Gu Qingchang's soul in the future. It was forming a cocoon, a soul cocoon, which still needed the power of the soul to supply it until Gu Qingchang emerged from the cocoon. Gu Qingchang was somewhat anxious. In another day, she would explode and die. We urgently need Gu Qingchang to wake up in the future so that we can tell her the solution. If we let old Gu break free of his cocoon naturally, We don't know how long it will take, a year and a half, or 10 to 5 years. Xiao Ye smiled. Then let's continue and find the other two dark gods. Ziran pondered. I speculate that the dark god might be the future you, left behind 20,000 years ago specifically for you. As for why the Magma King Beast recognizes Xiao Nanan as its ancestor, it's possible that 20,000 years ago, the future Xiao Ye imprinted a thought imprint on this planet, and all creatures born on this planet will have that thought imprint planted on them. Of course, this is just speculation, whether it's true or not still needs verification. Gu Qingchang suddenly understood, so that's how it is, it's probably pretty close. The Magma King Beast spoke up, Ancestor, everyone, I know where the other two dark gods are, and I'm quite familiar with the Beast Kings they guard. How about I lead the way? Zhang Zunan's eyes lit up, great. Lead the way now. But didn't you say you've never left here? Have you contacted those Beast Kings? The Magma King Beast blushed, somewhat embarrassed, and said, I was feeling cooped up here, so I secretly went out. It tore open a special rift and jumped inside. Xiao Ye and the others entered the Bronze Palace again. Zhang Zunan, carrying the Bronze Palace in her arms, followed them in. Inside the Bronze Palace, Xiao Ye could see Zhang Zunan's magnificent breasts, distorted by the pressure, and he swallowed hard. Gu Qingchang saw this and looked down at herself. A strange discomfort welled up inside her. So she slumped against Xiao Ye again, pressing her entire body against him, her face flushed, and said, Sorry, I'm still a little weak and can't stand up straight. Ziran clapped her hands and cheered. Chapter 455 The Future Empress Awakens, and a Supreme Treasure of the Emperor Realm. Gu Qingchang had already considered Xiao Ye her future husband, her man. Now, seeing him looking at another woman, she felt inexplicably angry. Xiao Ye, with his arm around Gu Qingchang, didn't look at her. Instead, his gaze was fixed on Zhang Zunan. Gu Qingchang was furious. This man, holding such a beautiful woman like her, still had the mind to look at another woman. Although she would become Xiao Ye's beast girl in the future, subconsciously she didn't want to see Xiao Ye involved with other women. Unless that woman was a beast girl Xiao Ye had already formed a contract with. Ziran observed Gu Qingchang's expression, seeing her beautiful eyes glaring at Xiao Ye, puffed up with anger, and then glancing disapprovingly at the large screen outside. On the large screen outside, in a completely black void, was Zhang Zunan's snow-white, distorted, round body. Ziran was surprised. Qingchang, was she jealous? Why would a woman be jealous? Seeing the man she liked flirting and philandering would make her jealous. In this scene, it's clear that Qingchang is jealous and angry because of Xiao Ye. Does this mean Qingchang likes Xiao Ye? Realizing this, Ziran felt good, but wasn't entirely sure and needed to test it further. After all, it was too unbelievable that the Empress of Hangzhou would like a young man like Xiao Ye. Outside, Zhang Zunyu followed the Magma Beast King across the void. Half an hour later, through a void rift, they arrived at the south pole of Aquamarine Star. The north and south poles are called poles because they are at opposite ends of the planet's axis of rotation. The temperatures at both poles are extremely cold. The two arrived atop an iceberg. Looking out, all they could see was a vast expanse of white icebergs suspended above the sea. The Magma Beast King led Zhang Zunyu to the foot of the iceberg, entered a passage, and burrowed into the iceberg. 10 minutes later, an inner space within the iceberg appeared before them. It was filled with various ice-type plants, solid ice structures, and magnificent palaces nestled within, looking breathtakingly beautiful. The ice-type sea beasts guarding the entrance to the passage bowed respectfully upon seeing the Magma King Beast and let it pass. Looks like you've been here quite a bit. These sea beasts seem so familiar with you, Zhang Zunyu exclaimed in surprise. The Magma King Beast chuckled, my Magma Sea Beast and the Ice Sea Beast are old friends, we visit each other often. The two passed without hindrance, arriving at the largest Sea Beast Palace. Ice Beast King, come out and greet our guests, it roared, shaking the entire Ice Palace. Roar. A snow-white, two-horned sea beast appeared like a phantom before the Magma King Beast, roaring with great delight, I was just getting bored. You've come at the perfect time. Fight me. 10 years have passed, my hands and feet are practically rusting. The Magma King Beast took a step back. Wait, only 10 years and you already want to fight? I didn't come here to fight you. You big oaf, didn't you see I brought someone with me? Only then did the Ice King Beast notice Zhang Zunan standing beside him. His gaze swept over, and his pupils instantly contracted. Greetings, Ancestor Sea God. He bowed respectfully, almost instinctively. Zhang Zunyu seemed very familiar with this scene, directly accepting his greeting, her hands behind her back, and saying bluntly, Ice King, I've come to retrieve the Dark God. You know what to do, right? The Ice King was extremely excited upon hearing this, exclaiming joyfully, Ancestor, you've finally come to retrieve the Dark God. Let's go, I'll take you to the Dark God's sealed area to obtain it. He was even more eager than Zhang Zunyu, seemingly impatient. Zhang Zunyu transmitted her voice to the Magma King, saying, Is he out of his mind? I'm here to take his clan's most precious treasure, why is he so happy? The Magma King said bitterly, The Ice Sea Beasts and we Magma Sea Beasts are both guardian races of the Dark God. During the guardianship period, we remain secluded. We're tired of staying in this tiny place. Now that our guardianship mission is about to be completed, of course we're happy. Seeing how small and exquisite the Magma King was, the Ice King also shrank, becoming only 2 meters in size. From its terrifying body that was tens of thousands of meters long just now, it had become a miniature version of the Ice King. 2 king-level beasts, wagging their tails, rushed forward, one after the other, with Zhang Zunyu following behind, like walking dogs. 2 dogs at the late-stage quasi-emperor realm. After a while, Zhang Zunyu followed the 2 beasts to space frozen in ice. The Ice King beast excitedly said, Ancestor, I'll break the seal first, then you can retrieve it yourself. Ha ha ha. It laughed, extremely excited at the thought of no longer being in this god-forsaken place. Zhang Zunyu nodded, okay. Clusters of light emanated from the Ice King beast, shooting towards the frozen surface. Rumble. The ice sealing the space gradually melted. 2 minutes later, all the ice vanished, revealing the true nature of the space. In the center of the space, a green crystal floated, emanating a rich power of soul rules. The Ice King beast said, Ancestor, please. Zhang Zunyu patted the bronze hall, and a blue-like gate appeared, from which Gu Qingchang emerged. Gu Qingchang glared at Zhang Zunyu and snorted. Zhang Zunyu panicked. What had she done to anger her mistress? Mistress, the Dark God is just ahead. You need to go and get it, she said, looking aggrieved. The Frost King beast stood to the side, lost in thought, but didn't stop her. He could tell that this person had a close relationship with the ancestor. Gu Qingchang stepped forward and easily reached the Dark God. The Dark God shimmered with a ghostly light and automatically entered Gu Qingchang's body, just like before, merging into the soul cocoon in her spiritual sea. The soul cocoon changed from light green to dark green. Gu Qingchang could feel that old Gu's spiritual power had become even stronger. Old Gu, can you hear me? Old Gu, answer me. I can hear you. Stop shouting. Gu Qingchang's voice came from inside the soul cocoon. Gu Qingchang was overjoyed and asked, Old Gu, how are you now? Her voice was complicated as she replied, I saw this soul-repairing treasure in my husband's hands in the future. I never expected him to return to the past and leave it to me. However, the soul-repairing treasure is incomplete, it's missing a part. If the remaining part is completed, I can break free from my cocoon, and my soul will be immortal. This is the effect of an emperor-level soul-repairing treasure. Emperor level? Gu Qingchang was shocked. The Dark God was actually an emperor-level treasure. Was Xiao Ye really that strong in the future? Zhang Zunyu, seeing Gu Qingchang's stunned expression, thought something was wrong and hurriedly ran over, asking, Mistress, how are you? Has your soul been repaired? Gu Qingchang regained her senses and said blankly, I'm much better, but still a little short. Zhang Zunyu breathed a sigh of relief, nuzzled her beautiful face against Gu Qingchang, and giggled, Mistress, let's go get the last Dark God. With Xia and Anan here, we'll surely succeed immediately. Chapter 456 Gu Qingchang, I'm going to pursue Xiao Ye. Okay, Gu Qingchang replied blankly. She was currently in her mind's eye, talking to the old advisor who had formed a cocoon. Old Gu, you said I'd explode and die. What should I do? She asked worriedly. The voice of the future Gu Qingchang came through, don't worry. The man who can solve your risk of exploding is both far away and right before your eyes. As long as you don't leave his side, you're not in any danger. A man both far away and right before her eyes? Gu Qingchang immediately thought of Xiao Ye. Only this man. As for the 2 male sea beasts, they weren't men. Gu Qingchang's lips twitched. You mean Xiao Ye? He's already powerful enough, he can even solve the danger of me exploding? The divine soul Gu Qingchang said firmly, That's right. Not only can he solve your risk of exploding, but he can also solve your stagnant cultivation level and your unstable template. In this starry sky, only he can solve these problems. Gu Qingcheng was stunned, once again deeply realizing Xiao Ye's excellence. It seemed this man was omnipotent. He could easily solve any difficulty. It seemed only such a unique and outstanding man could be her, Gu Qingcheng's, husband. Thinking about it carefully, perhaps she, Gu Qingcheng, was unworthy of such a peerless genius. She, Gu Qingcheng, was climbing the social ladder. For the first time, the Empress of Hangzhou felt inferior in front of a man. The divine soul Gu Qingcheng laughed. You'd better hurry and win him over, otherwise, if that starry sky beast little girl, or that one from the rules realm, appears, your chances will become slim. The starry sky beast little girl is also an empress, ruling over all the sea beast races of the entire blue star. She has more power in a higher realm than you, the Empress of Hangzhou, and her figure and looks are no less than yours. As for that one from the rules realm, he's even more terrifying. Gu Qingcheng's expression froze, stunned. She had always believed that she was destined to become Xiao Ye's beast girl, so she planned to take her time and let things unfold naturally, slowly and smoothly getting together with Xiao Ye. But now, old Gu's words shattered her illusions. The divine soul Gu Qingcheng continued, our husband's most amazing exclusive talent is the ability to infinitely contract with beast girls and upgrade their aptitude levels, raising them from SSS to mythical. Our husband is destined not to be possessed by just one beast girl. Such an outstanding man, if you're tempted, seize the opportunity and win him over as soon as possible. A sense of urgency rose in Gu Qingcheng's heart. I understand, I'll pursue him. Start pursuing him from this moment on. I, the Empress of Hangzhou, having already fallen for him, will not be hasty or perfunctory. I will follow my heart and win over Xiao Ye. The divine soul Gu Qingcheng smiled, her tone full of satisfaction. You're teachable. Let me give you a heads up, you need to accept, no, you must accept, be prepared. He'll solve your risk of exploding and dying. He needs you to strip naked and use an ancient secret method to give you a full body massage to fix your physical defects. Gu Qingcheng was stunned. Completely naked? Let Xiao Ye give her a full body massage? Her pretty face flushed, and she muttered, I know. Anyway, Xiao Ye is my future husband, so it's only natural for me to show him off, right? Shenhen Gu Qingcheng listened, nodding in satisfaction. Little Gu's mind had been corrupted under her brainwashing. Shenhen Gu Qingcheng felt this wasn't a bad thing, but a good thing, the worse, the better. At this moment, Gu Qingcheng said somewhat insecurely, I don't know how to pursue men, old Gu, you have to help me. In terms of combat and slaying ferocious beasts, she was skilled, but pursuing men? She was a complete novice, with no experience whatsoever. Shenhen Gu Qingcheng said, nonsense, of course I'll help you. Helping you is helping myself. You don't need to tell me, I'll help myself win over my husband. Gu Qingcheng smiled, her attention returning to the outside world, only to be surprised to find Jiang Zunan's head rubbing against her chest, with a look of enjoyment on her face. She hurriedly pushed Jiang Zunyu aside, supporting Jiang Zunu's head with one hand, and said, let's hurry and get the next dark god. Jiang Zunyu grinned and said, okay. The Magma King Beast and the Ice King Beast, who had come over, said at the same time, Ancestor, will accompany you. We're very familiar with the Rock King Beast. And so, the two King Beasts led Jiang Zunyu toward the location of the Secret Realm's guardian race on land. Gu Qingcheng entered the bronze hall. She found that Xiao Ye was massaging Ziran, who was bald and letting Xiao Ye touch her all over. Ugh! Gu Qingcheng covered her face with her hands, her eyes peering curiously through her fingers. So that's how you massage? But the places he was massaging were too embarrassing. Did he even massage those places? Gu Qingcheng thought about how Xiao Ye would massage her like this over the next 2 days, and her pretty face flushed, turning red all the way to her ears, even her slender neck turned red. Oh, Qingcheng, you're back? Ziran, unfazed, asked generously, Qingcheng, how are you? Gu Qingcheng turned around, blushing, and said, I'm much better. Once I get the last Dark God's treasure, my injuries will be completely healed. What are you two doing? Ziran laughed, recovering our figures. Activating our potential and developing again. Gu Qingcheng suddenly realized, so it was all about recovering her figure. At this moment, her divine soul Gu Qingcheng spoke in her mind, my husband's forehead is sweating, go wipe it. Gu Qingcheng felt unable to move her feet and said, "Is it inappropriate for me to go?" Her divine soul Gu Qingcheng said, "It is appropriate. Hurry up, don't dawdle." Urged on, Gu Qingcheng took out a wet wipe and walked over step by step. Under the astonished gazes of Xiao Ye and Ziran, she carefully wiped the sweat from Xiao Ye's forehead. Gu Qingcheng blushed and said, "Xiao Ye, you can continue, don't worry about me." Xiao Ye smiled and said, "Thank you, Sister Qingcheng." He realized for the first time that the Empress of Hangzhou was so considerate. Then, without stopping, he continued massaging Ziran. Gu Qingcheng wiped her sweat, her beautiful eyes fixed on Xiao Ye's expression, and she was surprised to find that his gaze was clear and his expression serious. In front of the bald Ziran, he had no impure thoughts whatsoever. Gu Qingcheng suddenly felt that she didn't need to feel any guilt about letting Xiao Ye massage her, she could just let him. Half an hour later, Xiao Ye stopped and said, "Sister Ziran, that's enough. Sister Qingcheng, you've worked hard wiping my sweat for half an hour, thank you. I didn't expect Sister Qingcheng to be so thoughtful and caring. Whoever marries Sister Qingcheng will be incredibly lucky." Gu Qingcheng felt a surge of joy upon hearing the praise, especially from the man she liked. "The man I want to marry is you." After spending this time together, witnessing Xiao Ye's numerous outstanding abilities, and under Lao Gu's influence, Gu Qingcheng has come to realize that she has fallen in love with this man. Chapter 457 Gu Qingcheng, I want to be a gentle and virtuous woman. Inside the cocoon, the divine soul Gu Qingcheng smiled and said, "Little Gu, what do you think of my suggestion? Is it good?" Gu Qingcheng gave a thumbs up. "Great. Hearing Xiao Ye's praise, I realized that I, the Empress of Hangzhou, am actually a thoughtful and considerate woman." The divine soul Gu Qingcheng asked, "Then would you be willing to be a thoughtful and considerate woman?" Gu Qingcheng replied without hesitation, "Yes. For Xiao Ye, I, Gu Qingcheng, am willing to be a gentle and virtuous woman. The way I was just now, unlike the frenzied battle with the ferocious beasts, I also had a unique experience, a feeling unlike any other." Outside the Bronze Palace, Zhang Zunyu followed two king beasts to the only land area on Aquamarine Star. Upon arriving here, both beasts and one person's expressions changed. This guardian race was in a secret realm. However, at the entrance of the secret realm, hundreds of quasi-emperor-level sea beasts of different species had gathered. These sea beasts launched a joint attack, unleashing a terrifying aura, and bombarded the closed entrance of the secret realm. After cracks appeared at the entrance to the secret realm, 10 high-level late-stage quasi-emperor realm sea beasts entered, while the remaining mid-stage and early-stage quasi-emperor realm sea beasts attacked the entrance again. After the cracks appeared, all the mid-stage and early-stage quasi-emperor realm sea beasts escaped into the land-based secret realm. Zhang Zunyu frowned as she looked at the sea beasts entering the land-based secret realm, saying, "These sea beasts look so familiar. They seem to be the sea beast leaders and soldiers I command from the ocean of Aquamarine Star." The Magma King Beast and the Ice King Beast's expressions changed, their faces turning grim. "Ancestor, I'm afraid these sea beasts want to forcibly take away the Dark God guarded by the Rock Sea Beast race in the land-based secret realm." Zhang Zunyu was somewhat embarrassed. These sea beasts had gone to find the Dark God after following her orders. Now, their attack on the land-based secret realm guarding the Dark God was essentially on her orders. Let's hurry into the secret realm. With so many quasi-emperor-level sea beasts surrounding and attacking the Rock Guardian Sea Beast, it's likely the Rock Guardian won't fare well. The two king beasts nodded and said, "Ancestor, please come with us. We have passage privileges and can directly enter the secret realm." In the past, our three guardian races interacted frequently. After becoming familiar with each other, the Beast Kings could enter their respective guardian areas without hindrance. The two beasts and one person arrived at the entrance of the secret realm. The Beast King used its power to envelop Zhang Zunyu, causing ripples to appear at the entrance. The two beasts and one person stepped in, entering without hindrance. Zhang Zunyu's vision changed, and she saw a world filled with yellow sand, with towering rocky peaks. Boom! Roar! In the far distance ahead, the sounds of fierce fighting and the roars of sea beasts could be heard. The Magma King Beast and the Ice King Beast immediately reverted to their terrifying beast bodies, each 10,000 meters in size. One was covered in fiery red magma, and the other was covered in bone-chilling cold. Zhang Zunyu landed on the head of the Magma King Beast, one hand holding the Bronze Palace, the other waving, and said, "Let's go." Destination: Magma Guardian Sea Beast Palace. The two different types of Beast Kings roared and vanished into the void, quickly traversing towards the center of the small world. Half a minute later, the two beasts and one person appeared above the massive rock palace. Boom. 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 Zhang Zunyu saw 10 late-stage quasi-emperor-level sea beasts utterly dominating the rock sea beast patrol team outside the palace. A crimson-yellow king beast stood at the palace gate, roaring, "Forbidden area ahead. Sea beasts are forbidden." The 10 late-stage quasi-emperor-level sea beasts were easily defeating the early-stage quasi-emperor-level rock sea beast patrol team. Hearing the rock king beasts roar, they immediately grinned. So this is the Guardian Forbidden Ground, but why does it look so weak? Only one late-stage quasi-emperor realm sea beast. Oh, we are a coalition of 10 super forces of ocean beasts, so they look weak. Never mind then. Soon, the rock patrol team was knocked to the ground by 10 late-stage quasi-emperor realm king beasts, losing their ability to move. The 10 ocean king beasts fixed their gazes on the rock king beast, saying in a flippant tone, "Hurry up and present the divine cultivation treasure, otherwise the sea beasts guarding your forbidden ground will be severely weakened, and you won't be able to stop us. Why waste words with them? Just rob them." At this moment, more than 100 mid-stage and early-stage quasi-emperor realm ocean beasts also arrived outside the rock palace. Each one was huge, surrounding the rock palace densely. The rock king beast roared, "Even if I die, I will not let you take even a single bit of our guardian forbidden ground. Magma Beast King, Ice Beast King, come and help me." He had already noticed that the Magma Beast King and Ice Beast King had arrived. The two Beast Kings, each 10,000 meters in size, emanated terrifying energy, making them impossible to ignore even if he didn't want to. The three guardian races were close friends, sworn brothers, jointly protecting each other's dark god and bearing their respective missions. In times of difficulty, they could request assistance from the other two guardian races. Roar. Roar. The Magma King Beast and the Ice King Beast roared excitedly, leaping to the Rock King Beast's side, saying excitedly, "Ha ha ha, it's been so long since we've fought, my limbs are practically stiff. Today's a good opportunity to stretch them out. Yes, let's summon our clan beasts too. I refuse to believe these sea beasts can break through the combined defense of our three guardian races." Standing atop the Magma King Beast, Zhang Zunu's forehead creased with a few black lines. She said irritably, "Fight, fight, fight. Do you all have to fight? They're all my subordinates, do you have to fight to the death? Stop it all." Her voice wasn't loud, but as her divine sense erupted, it resounded in the ears of all the sea beasts. All the sea beasts felt a thunderous roar in their ears, making their heads buzz. Zhang Zunyu was in her transformed state, with a human body that looked extremely small, but her true form was a giant star beast, the only quasi-emperor level perfected absolute madness beast on Aquamarine Star. Zhang Zunyu flew up and arrived at a palace gate, standing between two different groups of sea beasts, hands on her hips, and said, "You 10 big oafs, step back. And you 3 guardian king beasts, if you want to fight, don't fight in front of me. This farce is over. Rock King Beast, where's the Dark God? Take me to get him." The 10 ocean king beasts were dumbfounded. How did their ancestor get here? And even come out from the opposing camp? After seeing Zhang Zunu's figure and sensing the aura on her body, the Rock King Beast's body trembled. "Ancestor Sea God, it's Ancestor Sea God. Have you finally come to retrieve the Dark God? Is my mission as the Rock King Beast about to be completed? Great." It was extremely excited and shouted with joy. "HMPH, we'll learn from you sea beasts another day. Today, Ancestor Sea God has descended, and we, the Rock Guardian Sea Beasts, must receive our guest. Please leave." The 10 ocean king beasts concealed their auras and smiled awkwardly. "So you're one of us. We were reckless. Let's retreat. Chief, we'll leave this place to you. We're going back." Zhang Zunu nodded, "Okay." The ocean king beasts led more than 100 quasi-emperor level sea beasts away. The Rock King Beast breathed a sigh of relief and said respectfully, "Ancestor, please follow me. I'll lead the way so you can retrieve the Dark God." In the Rock King Beast's memory, the Dark God was something that Ancestor Sea God had placed here for them, the Rock King Beasts, to guard. Chapter 458 Emperor Realm Divine Soul Gu King Chen. The Rock King Beast, accompanied by 2 other beasts and 1 person, headed towards the seal of the Dark God. Ice King Beast, Magma King Beast, Has the dark god you guarded been taken by our ancestor? The two beasts proudly laughed. Of course. Before coming here, our race's mission was complete. That's right, otherwise we wouldn't have brought our sea god ancestor here. They felt honored and proud. 20,000 years ago, they hadn't even been born yet, but their sea god ancestor was an invincible being on aquamarine star, a fact mentioned in their race's inherited memories. Although their ancestor now took the form of a human woman, in essence, she was still the invincible sea god ancestor, the great benefactor who saved millions of sea creatures on aquamarine star. Ancestor, ahead lies the dark god, which I, the rock guardian sea beast, have protected for 20,000 years. I will break the seal for you, allowing you to take the dark god smoothly. The rock sea beast king pointed to a massive, hard, yellowish-brown rock mountain ahead. The rock mountain looked like an ordinary mountain. Zhang Zunyu nodded. The rock king beast unleashed a seal-breaking technique from its inherited lineage, beams of light shooting towards the massive rock. The rocky mountain gradually melted away, turning into sand and dust. A gentle breeze swept in, dispersing the sand and revealing the true form hidden within the mountain. A crystal, entirely green and radiating a ghostly light, floated in midair, its incredibly dense power of soul rules spreading outwards. The three king beasts and Zhang Zunyu instantly felt refreshed and invigorated. The rock king beast respectfully said, "Ancestor, please." A blue portal appeared beside Zhang Zunyu, and Gu Qingcheng, Xiao Ye, and Zhu Ran emerged. "These are my companions," Zhang Zunyu said. "Mistress, the dark god is there, you will need to retrieve it yourself." The rock king beast remained quietly to the side, watching silently. Gu Qingcheng, with her incredibly long legs and swaying hips, walked towards the ghostly green crystal. As if telepathically connected, the crystal hummed and flew towards Gu Qingcheng, entering her body and merging into the soul cocoon of the future empress within her spiritual sea. The soul cocoon, enveloping the future empress's divine soul, instantly erupted with a dazzling, eerie green light. Strengths of soul rules flickered around the cocoon. Gu Qingcheng felt her spiritual sea undergo a sublimation, becoming more stable and powerful than ever before. She observed the soul cocoon. She couldn't see what was inside, but with a tearing sound, two incredibly solidified soul hands emerged from its surface. These soul hands vigorously pried at the soul cocoon, and a mature, elegant, and powerful soul body emerged. This was the divine soul Gu Qingcheng. She leaped out of her soul cocoon, hopping and skipping a couple of times on the time-space treasure, her pretty face filled with joy. Looking at her hands, she exclaimed, "My soul will never decay. I will exist eternally. My current soul level is Emperor Realm. Emperor Realm Divine Soul. That Emperor Realm Dark God has completely solidified my divine soul. I will detach from my main body and become an independent being." Gu Qingcheng was shocked. This wisp of soul that had separated from her complete divine soul in the future had actually become a complete divine soul, completely detached from her main body. Capable of existing eternally in the world? A complete Emperor Realm soul? "Old Gu, you wouldn't be trying to seize my body and take control of it, would you?" she asked with some worry. With her hands on her hips, Gu Qingcheng laughed heartily. "You're overthinking it. Rather than possessing your body, I'd rather merge with your soul. Do you think my future husband is a fool? Since he can leave the Emperor-level Dark God behind, he won't worry about me harming you. Even if I did harm you, my future husband would use swift and decisive methods, raising his hand from the future to kill me with a single blow. You don't know, my future husband dominates all races in the universe, controls the origin of the universe, controls the 3,000 laws of the universe, knows the past and future, and is omnipotent. Even if I had the desire, I wouldn't have the guts." Gu Qingcheng breathed a sigh of relief, her beautiful eyes flashing with a sharp light, and said, "Xiao Ye is only at the great venerable realm now. In just over 100 years, he's already grown to the point of controlling the universe." Gu Qingcheng boasted proudly, "Maybe I'm exaggerating a bit, but it's close enough. Don't ask about my future husband. He is now the dominant force in the starry sky, a mythical template. That's enough to say everything." Mythical template? Gu Qingcheng frowned. She didn't know that Xiao Ye was a mythical level template. The divine soul Gu Qingcheng chuckled, "I'm terrifyingly strong now. Even if an emperor level expert came, I could fight them. Little Gu, your realm needs to be raised, you're falling behind. Zhang Zunan's realm is much higher than yours. These next 2 days, don't leave our husband. You could explode at any moment due to the violent eruption of the rules. Ideally, don't leave his side for even a second. Even if he takes a dump, you have to follow him. She didn't fully reveal that as an emperor-level divine soul, she could already communicate with a true form of the law of destiny, know all the power of the rules of destiny in the world, and suppress the impending violent rule power of Gu Qingcheng. But she didn't say it. Suppressing the violent rule power and solving the template problem were two different things. The template problem was something the divine soul Gu Qingcheng couldn't solve. Gu Qingcheng was taken aback. Xiao Ye takes a dump, and I have to go into the toilet to watch? The divine soul Gu Qingcheng suppressed a laugh. Yes. Gu Qingcheng's face flushed red and then turned pale, her lips twitching. After a long pause, her gaze hardened, and she said, fine. Then I won't let Xiao Ye poop, I'll make him hold it in. Gu Qingcheng, her soul still intact. Ziran, Xiao Ye, and Zhang Zunan came to Gu Qingcheng's side, who was standing there dumbfounded, staring at her in disbelief. Ziran stroked her chin, looking puzzled, and said, what's wrong with Qingcheng? Her expression changed so quickly, first shy, then angry, then embarrassed. This is the first time I've seen all these expressions on Qingcheng's face at the same time. Zhang Zunan raised her hand, I've seen it before. Ziran and Xiao Ye looked at her. Zhang Zunan recalled, slowly saying, when the mistress and the master were doing intimate things, I saw these expressions on the mistress's face. Oh, there's one more expression missing, the expression of enjoying pleasure. Xiao Ye exclaimed in surprise, you're not lying to us, are you? Me and Sister Qingcheng doing intimate things? Ziran's beautiful eyes lit up, revealing a gossipy expression. Zhang Zunyu, being a cosmic behemoth, didn't see anything wrong with saying these things and elaborated, yes, 20,000 years ago, my lord and mistress asked me to guard the door. Curious about what they were doing, I sneaked into their room. And it turned out my lord and mistress were doing shameful things. In the living room, kitchen, balcony, bathroom, bedroom, even outdoors, they did it all. At first, they tried to avoid me, but later, my mistress said I wasn't human, that I was a cosmic behemoth, so it didn't matter if they saw it or not, they did it right in front of me. At that moment, a delicate white hand covered Zhang Zunu's mouth. The onlookers turned to see Gu Qingcheng, her face flushed, staring at them with wide eyes, saying, shut up. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 459 Gu Qingcheng, you can just tell me secretly. Xiao Ye and Ziran were both stunned. The future so brazen with Gu Qingcheng? But now, Xiao Ye and the Empress of Hangzhou had a completely innocent relationship, nothing ambiguous at all. Zhang Zu's little mouth was covered. Gu Qingcheng blushed, glaring with her beautiful eyes, and said, little girl, shut up. If you say another word, I won't want you anymore. Zhang Zu panicked, pried the hand away, and hurriedly nodded, I won't say it, mistress, don't abandon me. Having finally met her master and mistress again, finally being able to follow them, she didn't want to live her lonely and helpless life anymore. Gu Qingcheng turned her head and saw Xiao Ye and Ziran looking at her with strange expressions. The weather is really nice today. She looked at the sky somewhat embarrassedly. The Magma King Beast spoke up, with a sandstorm everywhere, you can't see the sky, so how can the weather be good? Humans are so strange, lying through their teeth. Zhang Zunyu glared at him, shut up. The Magma King Beast. Even the ancestor has become strange. The Rock King Beast and the Ice King Beast quickly pulled the Magma King Beast away, transmitting their voices, let's catch up. You're really single-minded, can't you see the relationship between the ancestor and them? Be careful, the ancestor might get angry and beat you up. The Magma King Beast shrank its neck and scurried away even faster. In its subconscious, the sea god ancestor was an invincible being, no sea beast on Aquamarine Star could defeat him. Gu Qingcheng pulled Zhang Zunyu aside, glanced at Xiao Ye in the distance, and whispered to Zhang Zunyu, I really did those things with Xiao Ye? Zhang Zunyu mumbled, mistress, tell me to shut up. Gu Qingcheng's face darkened. I'll let you tell me now, but just tell me secretly. Zhang Zunyu grinned and said, yes, mistress and lord's relationship is a bit strange now, but 20,000 years ago, you two were so loving. You were always holding hands wherever you went, and I was always following behind like a third wheel. Gu Qingcheng was silent for several seconds before accepting and asking, what did he call me back then? Jiang Zunyu recalled, he called you Little Qingcheng. Little Qingcheng? Gu Qingcheng's pretty face flushed. So affectionate. In her spiritual sea, Gu Qingcheng's face was filled with complex emotions, both happy and sobbing, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks. After her efforts over this period, her future self had finally achieved her wish. No longer a resentful woman spending her nights alone in her empty room. She has finally gained her husband's favor and love. Now, she can use the time-space treasure to return 200 years in the future. But having witnessed Xiao Gu and Xiao Ye's interactions, the changes in their relationship, and having guided the direction of their romance, she wants to see Xiao Gu and Xiao Ye truly together. She has already invested emotionally in this current phase and doesn't want to leave so soon. If she could witness them truly come together and form a contract, she would rather stay here than return 200 years in the future and have her soul absorbed by the main body. After returning, she will inevitably be absorbed by the future Gu Qingcheng, that's beyond doubt. Xiao Gu, do you want me to return to the future now? She asked in her spiritual sea. Gu Qingcheng replied without hesitation, don't go. Her tone was somewhat forceful. If you leave, how can I pursue Xiao Ye? I don't know how to pursue men at all. The divine soul Gu Qingcheng listened quietly, a slight smile playing on her lips, somewhat pleased. After blurting out 2 sentences, Gu Qingcheng's expression changed. She said, I'm sorry, you probably really want to go back now, right? After all, Xiao Ye and you are already very loving in the future. Once you go back, you can enjoy the taste of a man. I'm too selfish, making you stay at this time. The divine soul Gu Qingcheng laughed and said, it's okay, I'll stay as long as you want me to. When you feel tired of me, I'll go back to the future. Gu Qingcheng was overjoyed. Old Gu, thank you. I'll never get tired of you. If I really get together with Xiao Ye, I'll let you control your body and consummate your marriage with Xiao Ye. The divine soul Gu Qingcheng's eyes widened, and she swallowed hard. Really? Gu Qingcheng hesitated. How about I come on our wedding night, and you come the next day? The divine soul Gu Qingcheng said, no problem. Jiang Zunan looked at her mistress, who was staring blankly again, and had no idea what lewd words Gu Qingcheng was saying or what earth-shattering plan she was plotting. She just felt that her mistress was too strange now, often spacing out. In the distance, Ziran pulled Xiao Ye aside and teased, Xiao Ye, after hearing what Xiao Nanan said, didn't you have any thoughts at all? Tell me. Were you having all sorts of fantasies? Xiao Ye hurriedly shook his head, no, absolutely not. Sister Ziran, don't overthink it. I have absolutely no improper thoughts about Sister Qingcheng. Please don't overthink it, don't be jealous. Ziran said speechlessly, am I the kind of person who can easily become jealous? I'm very magnanimous, okay? Xiao Ye didn't even look at her, you are. Ziran snorted, my 3 best friends are all with you, I won't mind if one more comes along. What are you pretending to be so high and mighty in front of me? Don't think I don't know, you're actually a pervert. Looking at Qingcheng's hot figure and dignified face, I don't believe you don't have any thoughts at all. Xiao Ye's temples throbbed, and he felt he couldn't let Ziran continue, so he changed the subject. Sister Ziran, I suddenly noticed that your panties have gotten tighter, the size has shrunk a lot, and it is about to pop out. He didn't have any ulterior motives towards Gu Qingcheng, that much was true. But he wanted to possess the destiny template, the Kilin template that could receive future power. So, at this moment, he was somewhat thinking about forming a contract with Gu Qingcheng. But these things can't be rushed. He didn't know what the Empress of Hangzhou, Gu Qingcheng, felt about him. He couldn't just tell her directly, I'm drooling over your destiny template, I command you to fall in love with me immediately and form a contract with me, could he? Ziran's attention immediately shifted to herself, and looking down, she couldn't even reach her toes. She was overjoyed, extremely happy. So that's why I couldn't breathe. Let me measure, this level should be C+, the limit is close to D. If you massage me a few more times, my figure can definitely be restored to its peak state, comparable to Qingcheng and Xiaoxi. Xiao Ye's eyes widened, you measured with both hands? Gu Qingcheng walked over, noticing the perverted look in her eyes, and said, Ziran, what are you doing in public? Ziran giggled, not embarrassed at all, and said, it's nothing. There are no men here, and those sea beasts aren't human. Xiao Ye's face darkened. He wasn't a man? Gu Qingcheng looked at Xiao Ye, her face slightly flushed, and said, Xiao Ye, our trip has been a complete success, should we go back? Ziren spoke up, Qingcheng, why are you asking him? You should ask me. I've only collected 56 Supreme Realm crystal cores, not even 200 yet. Gu Qingcheng's gaze darted away. She now regarded Xiao Ye as her pillar of support, so she subconsciously wanted to listen to his arrangements. Xiao Ye smiled, then let's go hunt some more sea beasts and collect enough crystal cores before going back. Gu Qingcheng nodded, okay. Zhang Zunan came over and giggled, crystal cores? I have plenty. I usually eat them as snacks. With a wave of her hand, thousands of Supreme Realm crystal cores and hundreds of Saint Realm crystal cores appeared in midair. Hiss. Xiao Ye gasped. So many? Chapter 460 Zhang Zunan, I want to go to Blue Star too. The more than 1,000 Supreme Realm crystal cores floated in midair, their light twinkling with multicolored brilliance, resembling a starry sky and forming a beautiful picture. The Saint Realm crystal cores, like stars, were larger and released even more intense energy, serving as the finishing touch. Gu Qingcheng stared blankly, once again feeling insignificant about what she possessed. Not only was she inferior to Zhang Zunan in terms of realm, but she also lacked Zhang Zunan's resources. Ziren clicked her tongue, actually eating crystal cores like snacks, truly extravagant. If these resources were multiplied several times, they would be comparable to the hidden Z family's foundation. Zhang Zunan commanded the entire Blue Planet, leading millions of sea beasts. If she were to bring them all to Blue Planet, it would be like a natural disaster invasion. All the secular forces on Blue Planet combined wouldn't be able to resist. Zhang Zunan scratched her head and tilted it, saying, these were all given to me by those sea beasts. If it weren't enough, I could ask them for more, and the number would probably increase tenfold. It's a pity. In the more than 100 years since I woke up, I've already eaten over 1,000 Supreme Crystal Cores, otherwise there would be even more. Xiao Ye chuckled and asked, that's enough, this is more than enough. Little girl, can I take some? Zhang Zunan nodded vigorously, my lord, if you want to take some, just take them. What's mine is yours, what's yours is yours, and what's mine is yours too. Xiao Ye's face lit up with a smile. It was the first time he had ever seen so many high-level crystal cores. He waved his hand and took half of the Supreme Crystal Cores and Saint Realm Crystal Cores into his pocket, saying, half is enough. You can use the rest yourself, or eat them as snacks, it's okay. Taking them all would be too cruel. Zhang Zunan grinned, mistress, you can have the other half. I'll ask the sea beasts for some later. I have plenty of crystal core snacks, I can't possibly finish them all. Gu Qingcheng. She swallowed hard, unable to resist the temptation, and put away the other half. Ziren's pretty face darkened. What about me? I don't even have a hair? But Zhang Zunan didn't care about Ziren's feelings at all. She wasn't her mistress, what did it have to do with her? She only had one mistress, Gu Qingcheng. HMPH. Ziren snorted. If she didn't have any, so be it. Her secluded Z family wasn't to be trifled with, they had plenty of resources. Gu Qingcheng noticed Ziren's dark face, smiled, and leaned closer, whispering in her ear, I'll share half with you when we get back. Ziren instantly grinned, her expression changing swiftly. As expected of her good sister, she was so good to her. Ziren glanced at Xiao Ye and snorted. Xiao Ye said helplessly, all my resources will be used on my beast girls, including you. The stronger you become, the stronger I will become. Ziren thought this made sense. After returning, she could upgrade her template level, evolving the SSS level devouring template into a mythical level template. Ziren was also very envious of the mythical level template. Xiao Ye spoke up, this trip is over. We should return to Blue Star. Little Nanan, do you want to stay on Blue Star, or come back with us? Gu Qingcheng smiled, Blue Star is another planet. If you come with us, you'll have to leave here, leave your familiar home. Zhang Zunan replied matter-of-factly, of course I'll go with master and mistress. This isn't my home. My home was destroyed by the Starry Sky Emperor clan long ago and became a cosmic graveyard. I'm the only one left among the Starlight-type Starry Sky beasts of my type. Master and mistress are my family. Wherever you go, little Nanan will go. Xiao Ye nodded, then you can come along. Zhang Zunan was a quasi-emperor realm-perfected Starry Sky beast, possessing unparalleled power. They would have gained a powerful backer. Gu Qingcheng, with her meticulous mind, said, Halen Star treats you like an ancestor. Before you leave, say goodbye to the sea beasts and establish some rules so that Halen Star won't descend into chaos after you're gone. Halen Star appears peaceful and prosperous because of Jiang Zunan, its ancestor, who maintains the balance between the various sea beast races. However, things might change after Jiang Zunan leaves. Most ferocious beasts are inherently violent, driven by desire, greed, and recklessness. Without Jiang Zunan's restraint, these sea beasts will likely unleash their true nature, sparking repeated racial wars for resources, female sea beasts, and territory. Jiang Zunan seemed thoughtful and said, the mistress is right. I need to establish some rules that they must follow. Immediately, she used her near-emperor-level divine sense to transmit a message, summoning the leaders and king beasts of each race to see her. At her level, the barrier between the secret realm and the main space could no longer hinder her telepathic communication. Then, Jiang Zunan transmitted her voice to the three guardian beast kings who had slipped away, instructing them to meet her on the land of the main space outside the secret realm. Jiang Zunan, along with Xiao Ye, Gu Qingcheng, and Ziran, arrived at the only landmass on Aquamarine Star, awaiting the arrival of the Sea Beast Kings. The sky on Aquamarine Star is so blue, a deep blue. Not a single cloud. There are even 3 suns. Gu Qingcheng gazed at the sky, marveling at the sight. Jiang Zunan giggled, the weather is really nice today. Gu Qingcheng felt like she had said something similar. Was the little girl teasing her? Jiang Zunan paused for a moment and then added, actually, it's just that the sky looks nice today. Most of the time, the weather is overcast and it's pouring rain. Normally, the scenery of the sea with its raging winds and sudden downpours is not as beautiful as the stunning scenery of the seabed. During the conversation between the human and the beast, Xiao Ye was astonished to see Ziran measuring herself with her hands again. She muttered, her voice brimming with joy, I've reached D. A few more massages, a few hundred liters of blood, and I'll be back to my peak figure, comparable to Xiaoxi and Qingcheng, hehe. Xiao Ye's eyes widened. A few hundred liters of blood? Did Ziran already drink several hundred liters before? Good heavens, Ziran might have stolen his blood while he was asleep. Ziran ate things from other parts of his body, but those things shouldn't have such terrifying effects. He massaged Ziran twice, and her level jumped from A to D, leaping 3 levels. At this moment, powerful energy fluctuations emanated from all directions. One after another, colossal deep-sea beast kings, each 10,000 meters long, rose from the sea surface, standing like towering, majestic peaks on the ocean. There were 13 in total. All at the late quasi-emperor realm. These sea beasts were all beast kings of various sea races, leading their respective sea beast tribes. Greetings, ancestor. Greetings, ancestor. Good morning, ancestor. They greeted her with an imposing air and respectful tone. Jiang Zunan gestured for them to quiet down, and they immediately fell silent, watching quietly. Chapter 461 Jiang Zunan, I will be a good little maid. Ahem. Jiang Zunan cleared her throat and said, I have something to attend to and will be leaving Aquamarine Star for a while. The 13 late-stage quasi-emperor level sea beast kings were all shocked. What? Our ancestor is leaving? Our ancestor has abandoned Aquamarine Star? Aquamarine Star is leaderless? The 3 guardian sea beast kings exclaimed, Ancestor, absolutely not. Without a leader, Aquamarine Star will fall into chaos. Yes, our guardian race dislikes fighting and killing. Rather than a life or death struggle, it's better to retreat into seclusion. Jiang Zunun's pretty face darkened, and she said impatiently, Shut up. Let me finish. I'm only leaving for a short time, I'll be back soon, not forever. The 3 guardian race beast kings breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. Jiang Zunun continued, Before I leave, I've set a rule. No sea race can violate this rule, or I will exterminate their entire race. Hiss. The beast kings present all gasped. That's serious, extermination. They immediately chimed in, Rest assured, ancestor, we will certainly not disobey your rules. Yes, your rules are the law, the code of our survival. Ancestor, please speak, we are all listening attentively. They had no doubt about the truthfulness of Jiang Zunan's words. Subconsciously, they believed she possessed the power. Jiang Zunan's expression was serious as she said, 1. Minor skirmishes are allowed, but no interclan wars are permitted. If any clan leads the charge, that clan will be annihilated without mercy by me and the entire sea race too. The Lava Sea Race, the Ice Sea Race, and the Rock Sea Race are my guardian races. They have not appeared for the past 20,000 years, but now that their mission is complete, these three guardian sea races have emerged. You must coexist harmoniously. 3. If any alien invaders from other planets invade, you must unite and fight together against them. 4. 5. Ziran stared blankly at Zhang Zunan's majestic demeanor as she commanded the sea races, feeling that she was so cool, so sophisticated, and so grand. Little girl, the ruler of a planet. This is far more impressive than the leader of the Supreme Alliance. The Supreme Alliance commands supreme beings, but Zhang Zunu commands an entire planet of sea beasts. Zhang Zunu's subordinates include thousands of Saint Realm experts, hundreds of Quasi-Emperor Realm experts, and 13 late-stage Quasi-Emperor Realm experts. Compared to this, Ziran felt far inferior. Gu Qingcheng clenched her fists, remembering what old Gu had said. If she, Gu Qingcheng, didn't hurry up and win over Xiao Ye, her appeal would greatly diminish when Xiao Ye encountered even more outstanding beast girls. At this moment, Zhang Zunu was far superior to Gu Qingcheng. She commanded the entire Blue Ocean Star, and her realm was at the great perfection of the Quasi-Emperor realm. Given the right opportunity, she might even advance to the Emperor realm someday. Gu Qingcheng was called the Empress, but at this moment, Zhang Zunu seemed more deserving of the title. At this moment, Gu Qingcheng and Ziran seemed to have become mere background figures for Zhang Zunu, feeling ashamed under the radiance of Zhang Zunu's charm. After stating 5 points, Zhang Zunan said seriously, if you violate these 5 rules, I will immediately sense it. I may not return immediately to punish you, but I will definitely punish you. Alright, go about your business. I finished speaking. The Beast Kings didn't leave immediately, but instead said, Ancestor, please be careful on your journey. If you are bullied, send us a message. My Lava Sea clan will come to your aid with our entire clan. Yes, and my Frost Sea clan too. My Rock Sea clan too. The 10 Ocean Beast Kings also expressed their support. Zhang Zunan's face darkened. All of them coming to support her? That would be terrible. All the sea beasts of Blue Star would go to Blue Star? She waved her hand and said, I understand. Now go about your business. I have something to attend to. Please excuse me. Hearing this, the 13 Beast Kings looked at each other, then their terrifying bodies sank into the ocean, disappearing without a trace. Zhang Zunan turned around, her serious face instantly transforming into a cheerful one. She pounced on Xiao Ye, rubbing her little head against his broad chest, and obediently said, My lord, I'm done. Xiao Ye patted her head and smiled, Good, little maid. Zhang Zunan was overjoyed, her pretty face beaming with happiness, like a kitten enjoying its master's head pats. Ziran was a little jealous, she also wanted a planetary lord's maid. Gu Qingcheng's lips twitched. Just now she had called Zhang Zunan an empress, and now she's a maid? An empress and a maid are completely different things. Zhang Zunan turned her head and said with a grin, Mistress, little girl is very obedient and will be a good maid. Gu Qingcheng nodded. Oh, Zhang Zunan is also her, Gu Qingcheng's, maid. Then it's alright. Ziran clenched her little pink fists. Damn it, she also wanted a planetary lord's maid. Zhang Zunan sensed Ziran's emotions and asked doubtfully, Sister, are you also a maid serving the master? Don't worry, I'll compete for his favor fairly and won't use any underhanded methods. Washing feet, scrubbing backs, giving baths, warming the bed, testing poison, relieving the master's desires, shielding him from fatal blows, and exploring, I can do it all. This is my first time being a maid, and I hope you can teach me some experience. I see your cultivation level is quite low, but I can guide you through some combat experience and leveling up. Ziran's face darkened, her full chest heaving with anger, and her beautiful eyes blazed with fury. She, Xiao Ye's beast girl, was actually being treated as a maid? Gu Qingcheng chuckled and said, Little girl, Ziran isn't Xiao Ye's maid, she's Xiao Ye's beast girl. Zhang Zunan scratched her head, somewhat puzzled, Master's beast girl? What does that mean? Gu Qingcheng thought for a moment and described, it's the woman who bears children for Xiao Ye. Zhang Zunan's beautiful eyes lit up, so this sister isn't Master's maid, she's Master's consort. Sorry, consort's sister. She was overjoyed. This beautiful woman wasn't Master's maid, so did that mean Master only had her as his maid, and no one would compete with her for the maid's favor? All the things a maid should do, Zhang Zunan would do. Washing feet, scrubbing backs, giving baths, warming the bed, testing poisons, relieving master's desires, shielding him from fatal injuries, and going on adventures. Thinking about her future happy life, Jiang Zunan felt like she was going to burst with joy. HMPH. Ziran snorted coldly, turning her head away from her. Call me Sister Ziran. Spouse sister, that's an awful title. If you call me that again, I'll hang you up and spank you. Jiang Zunan wasn't afraid at all. This spouse sister was so weak. She couldn't possibly catch her, let alone hang her up and spank her. She grinned and said, "Wrong, little girl, you're wrong. Your sister Ziran." This was, after all, the Lord's spouse. She had to give her face. Gu Qingchang's sense of crisis intensified. This maid, Jiang Zunan, was actually going to provide Xiao Ye with a whole series of services, washing his feet, scrubbing his back, warming his bed. If Xiao Ye fell for Jiang Zunan, would Gu Qingchang still have a chance? The chances were slim. Once she got back, she had to take immediate action and pursue Xiao Ye. She had to win him over as soon as possible. Ziran's expression softened, and she said, "It's getting late. We've been out for 2 days, so let's head back to Blue Star now." Xiao Ye nodded, "Then let's set off." Jiang Zunan raised her hand and said, "My lord, you guide the way, and I'll lead you." She waved her hand, and a force enveloped Gu Qingcheng, Ziran, and Xiao Ye, then they all vanished into the void. With their formidable strength at the great perfection of the quasi-emperor realm, they rapidly traversed the void, heading towards Blue Star. Chapter 462 Gu Qingchang is jealous. The speed of the quasi-emperor realm perfection cultivator was extremely fast, more than 10 times faster than their arrival. In just half a day, Xiao Ye and his group, led by Jiang Zunu, returned to the city lord's mansion of the Hangchang base city on Blue Star. As soon as the three arrived above Hangchang base city, Jiang Zunu's aura of a quasi-emperor realm perfection cultivator naturally emanated, causing all the residents and soldiers in the base city to bend over under its weight. They stared in horror at the sky, feeling the intense pressure emanating from the cosmic behemoth. This was an extremely unfamiliar aura, an extremely powerful aura, ancient, profound, mysterious, and vast. It was far more powerful than the Empress of Hangcheng. Their hearts trembled, their pulses resonating in unison. At that moment, everyone thought the sky was about to collapse. But that extremely intense pressure vanished in an instant. 1 second it pressed down on all the residents and soldiers of Hangchang base city, and the next second it completely dissipated. However, a shadow fell over their hearts. In the sky, Jiang Zunyu, in a single thought, took in the entire situation of Hangchang base city. Xiao Ye flicked her forehead, saying irritably, "Are you here to show off, or to be a maid? Quickly conceal your aura. If you don't obey, go back to your azure star." Jiang Zunan shrank back, covering her head with her small hands, her beautiful eyes filled with fear. She hurriedly apologized, saying, "My lord, I was wrong, please don't send me away." Little girl promises to be obedient. Gu Qingchang smiled sweetly, saying, "Little girl, this isn't azure star. Unless facing a powerful enemy, don't release your cultivation aura. Conceal it completely." Jiang Zunan nodded vigorously, Yes, I understand. Little girl is very good and will do her best to be a good little maid." Seeing Jiang Zunan's discomfiture, Ziran's pure and pretty face lit up with a smile. She was secretly delighted. Look how smug you got a lesson now." Xiao Ye glanced at the three women, still only wearing underwear, their fair, delicate bodies gleaming and shimmering in the setting sun. These were three exquisitely beautiful bodies, so openly and blatantly displayed. Noticing his gaze, Gu Qingchang blushed and said, "Let's go back to my palace and take a bath. If the residents and warriors of Hangzhou see me like this, I'll be too ashamed to show my face." Ziran's smile froze. Looking down, she realized she was only wearing underwear. "Oh dear, let's hurry. There are too many men on Blue Star, I don't want to be seen like this." 3 seconds later, the group, along with Jiang Zunyu, arrived at the city lord's palace in the city lord's mansion. It was a 10-story super villa. The villa was fully equipped with a gym, training area, entertainment area, and living area, everything imaginable. Gu Qingchang was pulled by Ziran into the bathroom. "Qingchang, mine is big too. I want to compare it with yours and see how much bigger it is." "Ugh, no way, it's been so long since I've bathed with you guys, I'm so embarrassed." Gu Qingchang said. "It's okay, I've seen you poop before, What are you embarrassed about? Ziran dragged Gu Qingcheng into the bathroom. Xiao Ye sat on the sofa, looking at Zhang Zunan standing blankly beside him, and asked in confusion, "Don't you want to take a bath?" Zhang Zunan asked in bewilderment, "Why would little girl need to bathe? I'm very clean. My lord doesn't believe me?" She became anxious, grabbed Xiao Ye's rough hand, and pressed it against her body, saying, "Feel it, little girl is really clean, there's not a speck of dirt. Although my true form is a star beast, after transforming, I'm no different from a human woman. Little girl has everything that human women have, and I can get pregnant and give birth to daughters." Xiao Ye's eyes widened, his rough hand was forced to press against that tender skin, and he casually rubbed it. The feel was incredibly smooth and wonderful. Her fair, translucent skin was like that of a newborn baby, so tender it was almost painful to look at, and so white it shone. He withdrew his hand, feeling a surge of heat throughout his body. He looked away and said, "You're very clean." Zhang Zunan was overjoyed to receive her lord's praise. Her delicate and beautiful face blossomed into a smile, and she giggled, "By the way, doesn't my lord need to bathe? Let me scrub you. I can do everything, I'm proficient in all sorts of difficult things." Xiao Ye felt he couldn't be alone with Zhang Zunan in a room any longer, something bad would happen. He hurriedly ran into another bathroom, and before closing the door, he said, "No need, I'm not used to being served, especially not having someone scrub me while I bathe." Zhang Zunan stood there, her face showing grievance, her pure, autumn water-like eyes welling up with tears. Her lord had already agreed to be her maid, yet he still rejected her. She genuinely wanted to be a maid. Zhang Zunan was sullen and very depressed. She sat on the sofa where Xiao Ye had just been sitting, her brows furrowed. What should she do if her master rejects her? What should she do? No, little Zhang Zunan is a hard-working star beast. From the moment she met her master and mistress again, she must do her best to serve them and fulfill her purpose so that they won't abandon her like before, leaving her alone on Aquamarine for 20,000 years. If it weren't for the ability of star beasts to fall into deep sleep, she might not have survived those 20,000 years. After much thought, Zhang Zunan decided that as a maid, she needed to start with small things to gradually gain her master's acceptance of her identity. Yes, she would start by washing her master's feet. Washing feet, scrubbing his body, warming his bed, relieving his desires, and so on. Starting with small tasks and gradually increasing the intensity, her master wouldn't reject her so strongly, and his heart would gradually accept her as a maid and adapt to her role as her little maid. After figuring this out, Zhang Zunan's beautiful eyes lit up again. She felt hopeful again, and her heart filled with joy. Suddenly, she sniffed with her delicate nose and her cherry lips curled into a smile. "This is the sofa the master used to sit on, it smells like the master." Zhang Zunan lay down, sniffing the sofa with a blissful expression, her bottom sticking up high. "Holy crap!" A shocked voice came from behind. "Zhang Zunan, what are you doing? Are you a pervert?" Xiao Ye, fully dressed, stood there in shock. He showered very quickly, finishing in 2 minutes. Zhang Zunan turned around, not feeling embarrassed or awkward, and replied with a cheerful smile, "It smells like the master. Little girl loves it." Xiao Ye's forehead creased with annoyance. He walked over and slapped her protruding bottom hard. Smack! A crisp sound rang out. "Now that you've transformed into human form, you should pay attention to your behavior and etiquette. Zhang Zunan, when you were in your starry sky beast form, would you smell a sea beast that had just sat on the seabed?" Zhang Zunan thought for a moment, then looked disgusted and said disdainfully, "Little girl isn't a pervert, why would I smell that? It's disgusting." Xiao Ye's lips twitched. "Well, isn't that what you're doing right now?" Zhang Zunan grinned. "That's not the same thing. This is master's scent." She rubbed her bottom, then jumped and hung on Xiao Ye, saying, "Master, little girl isn't just your little maid, she's also your little pet. It's normal for a pet to like its master's scent, isn't it?" Suddenly, an angry voice came from behind them. It was Gu Qingcheng. She said angrily, "What are you doing? What shady things are you doing while we're not here?" Chapter 463 Gu Qingcheng begins to pursue him. Beside Gu Qingcheng, Ziran glared angrily at the two of them. This scoundrel. He actually took advantage of them when they weren't around. Taking advantage of the little maid. Kissing, hugging, lifting her up high. Even Ziran had never been lifted high by Xiao Ye. Ziran turned her head and was surprised to find that Gu Qingcheng was even angrier than her, seemingly jealous, her face dark and radiating a murderous aura. This must be jealousy, otherwise why would King Chang be angry about Xiao Ye and Jiang Zunan's actions? Gu King Chang said sternly, Jiang Zunan, get down right now. Jiang Zunan shrank back, somewhat flustered. Xiao Ye smiled and said, it's okay, it's just a hug, I gave permission. Gu King Chang's words caught in her throat, she glared at him, feeling a pang of bitterness. In her spiritual sea, Gu King Chang, hands on her hips, laughed out loud. Ha ha ha, little Gu, I told you to win him over sooner, but you were dismissive back then. Now, are you regretting it? Gu King Chang. Gu King Chang laughed, it's no use regretting it now. Jiang Zunan is better than you in every way. Her figure and looks are no worse than yours, she's more obedient, more popular, and easier to get close to. You need to hurry up now. This maid has become your rival. If you're not careful, the day you and Xiao Ye truly get together will be delayed indefinitely. Gu King Chang's heart skipped a beat, suddenly realizing that Jiang Zunan, this little maid, had unknowingly become her rival. Gu King Chang grew impatient. Old Gu, what should I do? Think of a way. How can I steal Xiao Ye's attention and make him like me? Damn it, didn't you say I could go berserk with the power of rules? Why hasn't it gone berserk yet? If it goes berserk, Xiao Ye will focus his attention on me. If he sees my true figure, he might fall for me. I'm very confident in my figure. I've seen all the leading ladies in action films, and none of them can compare to me in terms of figure and looks. Soul Gu King Chang. She was speechless. Others don't want to explode and die, but you want to explode and die quickly. Wait, is little Gu gradually becoming corrupted under her brainwashing? Wait. Don't do anything rash. With me here, are you afraid Xiao Ye will be snatched away? You underestimate me, old Gu. I've long since figured out this man's preferences. If he frowns, I know what he's thinking. If he sits down, I know what he wants to do. What position he likes, standing, sitting, or even upside down, I can guess it instantly. Don't worry, with my help, you'll win him over in no time. Gu King Chang was dumbfounded. Old Gu was so amazing, so knowledgeable about Xiao Ye. What exactly did old Gu do during the 100 years he spent guarding the empty room? Was he studying and pondering Xiao Ye all day? It's already evening. You'd better stay with your husband at all times. Only then can your potential outburst be dealt with promptly. Don't let your husband go to sleep. Find an excuse, Gu King Chang said. Gu King Chang frowned. What reason? Gu King Chang thought for a moment, her beautiful eyes lighting up. Rock, paper, scissors, dare. 4 people play rock, paper, scissors together. Whoever loses has to accept a punishment. Drinking, taking off clothes, hugging, kissing, etc. The winner proposes the punishment, and the loser accepts it. If they feel the punishment is unacceptable, they have to drink. Gu King Chang thought of the scene of hugging and kissing Xiao Ye. Her pretty face blushing. She quickly shook her head. Ziran is still here. Would it be inappropriate for me to kiss Xiao Ye? Gu King Chang's face darkened. Do you even want to pursue him? Do you want to win him over? Gu King Chang's gaze was firm. Yes. Gu King Chang smiled, then do as I say. Outside, Ziran yawned, looked up at the sky, and saw it was already evening. Everyone, let's rest. We can deal with things tomorrow. Xiao Ye, come with me. She glared at Xiao Ye, pulled him towards the stairwell, and dragged him upstairs. Jiang Zunan watched expectantly, then followed step by step. Gu King Chang grew anxious and followed Jiang Zunan upstairs as well. A moment later, Ziran was surprised, looking at Jiang Zunan and Gu King Chang sitting on the edge of the bed, and said, Why did you two follow us? Do you want to watch me and Xiao Ye do some exercise? Jiang Zunan shook her head and said, Sister Ziran, I'm going to warm the bed for Master. Ziran's lips twitched. This maid really acted like a maid, actually warming the bed for Xiao Ye? She looked at Gu King Chang, and what about you? Gu King Chang's pretty face flushed. I need to keep an eye on little Nanan to prevent her from being bullied by some old lecher. Hearing this, Ziran felt that her best friend was lying. With her there, why would she need to worry about Jiang Zunan being bullied? She was helpless. Go and rest, see you tomorrow, okay? Xiao Ye and I are husband and wife, we need some private space, please understand, okay? Especially you, King Cheng. Jiang Zunan is a celestial behemoth, she's not very interested in what humans do. We can watch us exercise, but you're different, you're my best friend, you can't just watch me and Xiao Ye exercise, can you? Gu Qingcheng's face darkened. This exercise, did they really have to do it? But she couldn't stray too far from Xiao Ye, or she'd explode and die. No, I can't leave. Tonight, let's sleep together, Gu Qingcheng said. Ziran's eyes widened. No, sister, are you serious? Gu Qingcheng nodded, seriously serious. Zhang Zunyuan echoed her mistress's words, very serious, extremely serious. Xiao Ye selectively remained silent. These past few days Ziran had been like a wolf. If he could rest and recover his Kun energy, that would be ideal. Ziran sighed helplessly, pulling Xiao Ye out of the bedroom, saying, since everyone's not sleepy, let's not sleep. 2 minutes later, everyone returned to the living room on the first floor. Xiao Ye, Ziran, Zhang Zunyuan, and Gu Qingcheng stared at each other, silently locked in a stalemate. Gu Qingcheng then spoke up, let's play a game. Let little girl experience human pleasure. Zhang Zunyuan's beautiful eyes lit up, mistress, what game? Little girl wants to play. Ziran and Xiao Ye's gazes focused on Gu Qingcheng. At this moment, Gu Qingcheng was wearing a fitted white robe, revealing her perfect, voluptuous figure. Her S-shaped curves and her exquisitely beautiful face, tinged with a hint of majesty, easily stirred the imagination. Her rosy lips parted slightly, and a melodious, sweet voice rang out, fist to fist air. 4 people fist to fist. Whoever loses has to accept a punishment, drinking, hugging, telling a story about their smell, or kissing. The winner decides the punishment. Xiao Ye found the crux of the matter and asked, puzzled, there are 3 winners. Who exactly is the winner? Gu Qingcheng smiled and said, the 3 who win continue fist to fist. The last person to win is the winner. And the loser is the one who lost at the beginning. Zhang Zunyuan found it very amusing and urged, then let's start now. The 4 of them sat around the tea table on the sofa and began fist to fist. Ziran was scissors, and the other 3 were fists. Zhang Zunyuan grinned and said, Sister Ziran, you lost. Xiao Ye, Zhang Zunyuan, and Gu Qingcheng fist to fist again, and Zhang Zunyuan won in the end. Gu Qingcheng chuckled, little girl, what punishment do you want Ziran to do? Zhang Zunyuan stroked her chin, her beautiful eyes lighting up, Sister Ziran, kiss the Lord. Ziran grinned and naturally reciprocated, their kiss slamming together. Gu Qingcheng's smile froze, a bitter feeling welling up inside her. No, next time, she had to lose too. Chapter 464 Empress, Xiao Ye, give me a kiss. The 3 exchanged fistfights again, with Gu Qingcheng throwing scissors. Xiao Ye and Ziran also threw scissors, while Zhang Zunyuan threw paper. Zhang Zunyuan giggled, yay, I lost. Punish me quickly, little girl can do anything, she can do anything. She looked expectant. After Gu Qingcheng, Ziran, and Xiao Ye exchanged fistfights, Xiao Ye won again. He stroked his chin and said, then you kiss. Before he could finish speaking, he saw Ziran and Gu Qingcheng staring at him with fiery eyes. Xiao Ye's lips twitched, and he immediately changed his mind, saying, little girl, bark like a dog 3 times. Zhang Zunyuan looked puzzled, what's a dog bark? Xiao Ye tossed her a hard drive and said, use your divine sense to read the relevant information about Blue Star. Zhang Zunyuan took the hard drive, probed with her divine sense, and read the data on the hard drive in milliseconds. After a moment, her pretty face flushed red, and she winked seductively, saying, my lord, this is full of men and women entangled together, doing shameful things. There's no information about Blue Star. My lord, do you want me to learn the positions in here? No problem, I can learn. I'll do my best to be a good little maid in the future. Xiao Ye's eyes widened, and he snatched the hard drive, examining it closely. Oh no. He gave her the wrong one. This was 200 gigabytes of resources, not a database of information about Blue Star. Ahem. Xiao Ye blushed, took out another hard drive from his system space, examined it carefully, and after confirming it was correct, tossed it to Zhang Zunyuan, saying, that wasn't it, this is. Ziran and Gu Qingcheng were speechless. Giving the wrong hard drive? Was he doing it on purpose? Was he trying to corrupt the little maid? Zhang Zunyuan took the new hard drive, probed it with her divine sense, and quickly finished reading, learning a lot of basic information about Blue Star. She suddenly realized, so that's how puppies bark. In an instant, Zhang Zunyuan did a backflip and landed on the ground, her hands and feet on the floor. She raised her head, her beautiful face facing Xiao Ye, and barked, woof, woof, woof. Ziran chuckled. Gu Qingcheng covered her mouth and smiled slightly. Xiao Ye reached out and patted Jiang Zunan's head, nodding in satisfaction. Very good. Jiang Zunan was overjoyed, rubbing her head against his rough hand, and cried, "My lord, not only can I bark like a dog, but I can also do all sorts of poses. Whatever my lord desires, I can fulfill it." Xiao Ye's face fell, and he waved his hand. "The punishment is over, get up quickly, the ground is cold." Jiang Zunan plopped back down on the sofa. Gu Qingcheng was a little annoyed. Why was she going to lose even though she hadn't lost yet? Ziran looked at Jiang Zunan, thinking to herself, next time, I'll definitely be the one who loses. The four of them exchanged punches again. Xiao Ye was the fist, Gu Qingcheng, Ziran, and Jiang Zunan were the paper. Xiao Ye was surprised. I lost? After the three of them exchanged fists, Ziran was the winner. Gu Qingcheng was a little dejected. She wasn't the one who lost, and she wasn't the one who won either. Ziran was overjoyed, her whole body becoming excited. She looked at Xiao Ye with ill intent and said, "You kiss Qingcheng." "Xiao Ye? What did you say?" he asked incredulously. Ziran giggled, "I'll punish you by making you kiss Qingcheng." Gu Qingcheng was stunned, feeling like she had been hit by a surprise. The corners of her mouth curled up slightly, and she was very happy inside. Gu Qingcheng looked at Xiao Ye expectantly, waiting for him to kiss her. Jiang Zunan waved her hands. "Yay, yay, my lord, hurry up and kiss the mistress, kiss her to death." Xiao Ye glanced at Gu Qingcheng, shook his head, and said, "I refuse. I don't accept this punishment. I'll drink as punishment." He picked up the Hangzhou specialty wine in the center of the table, poured himself a glass, and downed it in one gulp. Gu Qingcheng. She felt a little disappointed, her heart empty. "Old Gu, doesn't Xiao Ye have any feelings for me at all? Am I, Gu Qingcheng, that bad?" The divine soul Gu Qingcheng pondered. "Xiao Ye is just respecting you. You should have stopped Xiao Ye from drinking earlier, made your stance clear, and said you didn't mind Xiao Ye kissing you." Gu Qingcheng. Was the relationship still her problem? Ziran was speechless. She had intended to matchmake Xiao Ye and Gu Qingcheng, but Xiao Ye didn't appreciate it. HMPH. This old lecher is just a guy with lustful thoughts but no guts. The four of them exchanged fists again. Gu Qingcheng threw scissors, Xiao Ye, Ziran, and Jiang Zunan threw fists. Gu Qingcheng's heart skipped a beat. She had finally lost. But she couldn't be happy at this moment. What did it matter if she lost? Xiao Ye wasn't interested in her at all. Xiao Ye, Ziran, and Jiang Zunan exchanged fists, and Jiang Zunan won. Jiang Zunan said bluntly, "My lord, you must kiss the mistress this time. I beg you, please kiss her, okay?" She used a soft tone to say something harsh. She sensed that something was very wrong with the lord and mistress. They were too polite, like friends, not like a married couple. In her memory, the lord and mistress were a very loving couple, always holding hands wherever they went, and capable of intimate acts anywhere, whether indoors or outdoors. Xiao Ye hesitated, looked at Gu Qingcheng, and said, isn't that inappropriate?" Gu Qingcheng quickly spoke up, straightening her posture, her face serious, and said, "I don't mind." Xiao Ye was startled. Ziran slipped her small hand inside Xiao Ye's clothes, pinched his waist, and twisted it, saying fiercely, "Just kiss me, don't dawdle." Xiao Ye's face froze. "Sister Qingcheng, then I'll go for it." Gu Qingcheng closed her eyes, her beautiful face slightly raised, and said, "Come on." Smack. She only felt a mosquito bite on her cheek. The touch was fleeting. She opened her beautiful eyes and saw that Xiao Ye had already sat back on the sofa. "That's it?" Gu Qingcheng was a little dissatisfied. Why wasn't it a kiss on the lips, but a kiss on the cheek? Was she, the Empress of Hangzhou, not worthy? Ahem. Xiao Ye looked away and said, "The punishment is over. One last time, then I'll stop." To be honest, the moment he kissed the Empress of Hangzhou's cheek, he felt like he was having an affair. It was incredibly exciting, especially in front of Ziran. This kind of game shouldn't be played too often, it's addictive. The four of them played rock paper scissors again. Xiao Ye chose paper, while Gu Qingcheng, Ziran, and Jiang Zunan chose scissors. Xiao Ye was stunned. I lost again? After the three exchanged fistfights, Gu Qingcheng won. Gu Qingcheng was overjoyed, her smile was harder to suppress than a cannon. Xiao Ye swallowed hard. "Sister Qingcheng, what punishment are you going to give me?" Gu Qingcheng stared intently at him. Ziran spoke up, Qingcheng, let him do whatever he wants, don't worry about me. Jiang Zunan excitedly said, just treat Xiao Nanan like a puppy, I'm a pet. Gu Qingcheng glanced at them, thinking to herself, old Gu, my goal is to make Xiao Ye interested in me. What do I need him to do to get interested? In her spirit form, Gu Qingcheng licked her lips and said, then let him bite your lips. First, break the current dynamic and enter an ambiguous stage. Then Xiao Ye won't resist physical intimacy with you anymore. Gu Qingcheng felt this made sense, so she said to Xiao Ye, bite my lips. My first kiss is still intact, let me experience what it's like to be kissed by a man, how about it? Xiao Ye looked at her rosy cherry lips, his heart fluttering. These lips, he could kiss them? Chapter 465 Gu Qingcheng's power of rules goes wild. Ziran shoved Xiao Ye, urging, you're lucky to get Qingcheng's first kiss. Go for it. You have to give Qingcheng a wonderful experience, let her have a wonderful first time. Don't be too rough, be gentle. She instructed him from the side. Xiao Ye was quite surprised. Seriously? Your man is kissing your best friend, and you're teaching him? Gu Qingcheng's pretty face flushed red. She raised her chin, closed her eyes, pouted, and whispered, Xiao Ye, go for it. I'm rooting for you. Xiao Ye felt this kiss was inevitable. Okay, I'm going all out. Sister Qingcheng, here I come. Let me clarify, this is a game, not me trying to take advantage of you. Xiao Ye, I'm an upright and optimistic good person. Ziran took out a camera, intending to film the scene. Xiao Ye stood up and stepped forward, looking at those cherry-like lips, and pressed his lips against hers, sealing them. Cool, soft, and with a sweet taste. Is this the Empress's taste? Very unique. Gu Qingcheng's body trembled as she felt the heat on her lips, her heart fluttering. Her mind was filled with complex emotions as she looked at her husband, who was now closer to her younger self. From this point on, their relationship would definitely become more intimate, and things would become more complicated. They would soon be truly together. Ziran, her face beaming with excitement, pressed the shutter button on the camera. Click. A crisp sound. A beautiful scene, seemingly frozen in time. In the picture, Gu Qingcheng's pretty face was flush pink, while Xiao Ye's face was resolute. The two were kissing, biting each other. A handsome man and a beautiful woman, they seemed like a match made in heaven. Ziran was very satisfied. She would send this photo to Xiao Zai and Xiao Bing so they would know. They should also approve of Qingcheng and Xiao Ye being together, right? Half a minute later, their lips parted, Xiao Ye returned to his original position, and Gu Qingcheng felt her body go weak. Gu Qingcheng pursed her lips and said, Xiao Ye, thank you for letting me experience the taste of a man. It was wonderful, it made me feel physically and mentally happy. Xiao Ye. He opened his mouth, not knowing what to say. I took advantage of you, and you thank me? This was your first kiss. As expected of the Empress, she's very assertive in some ways, yet so polite in others. Ziran carefully studied Gu Qingcheng's expression and found that she didn't resist at all, her face was full of smiles, and her beautiful eyes revealed joy. Her best friend probably likes Xiao Ye, otherwise, being kissed by a man would definitely make her feel disgusted, and her emotions wouldn't be joyful. Qingcheng probably likes Xiao Ye, she's so happy to be kissed. Jiang Zunyun excitedly danced around, her fair feet even starting to twitch. In her understanding, the lord and mistress should be intimate and loving. So when she saw Xiao Ye and Gu Qingcheng biting lips, she was genuinely happy for them. Within her spiritual sea, Gu Qingcheng's divine soul sensed something and her expression changed. The power of rules within Xiao Gu's body was beginning to descend into chaos, and it was estimated that it would go berserk in another half hour. She hurriedly warned, Xiao Gu, from now on, you must stay by Xiao Ye's side at all times. The power of rules within your body is starting to go berserk. Your body used the Destiny Template talent skill, borrowing the power of the future to temporarily elevate your realm to the Quasi-Emperor realm, which has already made your relatively balanced template extremely unstable. From this moment on, wherever Xiao Ye goes, you go. If he poops, you follow. If he takes a shower, you go into the bathroom. If he sleeps, you sleep next to him. This concerns your life, understand? Gu Qingcheng was shocked. Was it finally going to go berserk? Okay, I won't let him poop. Divine Soul Gu Qingcheng. Xiao Ye lay on the sofa, his head resting on Ziran's long, fair legs, and said, "Little maid." Jiang Zunan came closer, her two large, bright eyes sparkling. "What is it, my lord?" Xiao Ye said, "It's time to test your abilities. Bring a basin of warm water and let your lord wash his feet." Ziran's beautiful eyes widened. "Wait, you really treat Jiang Zunan like a maid?" Jiang Zunan was extremely excited upon hearing this. She ran to the bathroom to get a basin, filled it with warm water, and returned to Xiao Ye's side. She put down the basin, squatted down, rolled up the sleeves of her flowing fairy dress, and said with a grin, "My lord, please put your feet down." Xiao Ye put his feet down and nodded, "The water temperature is just right." Jiang Zunan grabbed his feet, brought her nose close to sniff them, and said, "My lord, you have sweaty feet." Xiao Ye's face turned slightly embarrassed. "You know it, just don't say it out loud." Jiang Zunan giggled, "Yes, my lord." She looked at the clear basin of water, feeling that something was missing. Her gaze swept to the side and she saw Gu Qingcheng. "Mistress, come here. You and the master soak your feet together, and I'll rub them for you." Then, Jiang Zunan took out a marine fruit brimming with spiritual energy from her storage space, crushed it, and placed it into the basin. Instantly, the basin shimmered and sparkled. A delicate fragrance wafted from the basin, filling the entire living room. Ziran's pupils contracted. This is a saint-level spiritual fruit. A saint-level spiritual fruit takes 5,000 years to flower, 5,000 years to bear fruit, and at least another 5,000 years to mature. In short, this saint-level spiritual fruit will take at least 15,000 years to fully mature. Little girl, are you really going to waste it by using it to rub your feet? Jiang Zunan nodded, saying matter-of-factly, "No waste at all. To serve my lord and mistress, of course I have to use the best." If it weren't for the fact that there aren't any quasi-emperor level spiritual fruits on Halen Star, I would definitely use a quasi-emperor level spiritual fruit to serve my lord and mistress. Ziran. Xiao Ye clicked his tongue. This little girl was really generous. "Sister Qingcheng, why don't you put your jade feet in too, so as not to waste this spiritual fruit?" he suggested. He repeatedly assured himself that he absolutely did not want to soak his feet in the same basin as Gu Qingcheng, he just wanted to avoid wasting resources. "Yes, that's it." Gu Qingcheng hesitated for a moment. Gu Qingcheng, in her spiritual sea, urged, "What are you hesitating for? Hurry up. Your husband's words mean he doesn't object to intimate contact with you. It means your kiss with him just now had an effect. You can't waste such a good opportunity." Gu Qingcheng nodded, then cautiously asked, "Ziran, can I?" Ziran was taken aback, then said, "No problem, such good spiritual fruit shouldn't be wasted." Xiao Ye already put his feet down. "We can't just drink this basin of sacred spiritual fruit juice, can we?" Jiang Zunan interjected, "Sister Ziran, I can drink it." Ziran's face darkened, "Shut up." Ugh. Jiang Zunan quickly shut up. Gu Qingcheng, having received a reply, relaxed completely, sat down next to Xiao Ye, pressed against him, took off her shoes, revealing her small, delicate, red, tender feet, and placed them in the basin of spiritual fruit juice. When her toes touched Xiao Ye, Gu Qingcheng trembled, her pretty face flushed, and her gaze darted away. When Jiang Zunan saw that her master and mistress had arrived, she smiled and then became very serious as she rubbed their feet with both hands. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 466 Jiang Zunan, the mistress is dying. Gu Qingcheng observed Ziran's expression and found her to be natural, without a trace of jealousy. Gu Qingcheng's spirit said, "Don't pay any attention to that vixen. She won't stop you and your husband from being intimate. Although Ziran is extremely hateful, she seems to be intentionally trying to bring us together. 100 years ago, Ziran played a large role in my being able to form a contract with my husband." Gu Qingcheng was quite surprised. "Ziran intentionally brought me and Xiao Ye together?" Gu Qingcheng's spirit recalled for a moment and said, "Yes, I asked her back then why she wanted to bring me and my husband together. She said that among the 4 sisters, 3 were with Xiao Ye, and I, Gu Qingcheng, had to be with Xiao Ye too, otherwise she felt something was missing. She also said that when she was young, in her 20s, she swore to marry the same man. So, You can just seduce our husband and find a way to make him like you. Don't pay too much attention to Ziran. She supports your intimate contact with your husband. Gu Qingcheng was somewhat moved and gave Ziran a deep look. What a wonderful friend. So generous. Gu Qingcheng observed Ziran's expression, and Ziran was also observing Gu Qingcheng. Seeing Gu Qingcheng's slightly flushed face and the secret joy in her beautiful eyes, Ziran became even more certain that her best friend definitely liked Xiao Ye. On the other hand, Xiao Ye, with his head resting on her lap, was having his feet rubbed by Zhang Zunan, looking completely blissful. He seemed oblivious to the fact that Gu Qingcheng was rubbing his feet at the same time. Xiao Ye's feet occasionally brushed against Gu Qingcheng's delicate feet, only feeling their coolness. Zhang Zunan picked up Gu Qingcheng's foot and asked in surprise, "Mistress, your nails are a bit long. Should I trim them for you?" Gu Qingcheng blushed, feeling somewhat embarrassed, and quickly put her feet back into the basin, saying, "No need, I can trim them myself." Xiao Ye had actually seen her like this. How embarrassing. Zhang Zunan grabbed Xiao Ye's foot, held it in her hands, and examined it. Her pretty face lit up with joy. "My lord," she said, "your nails are so neatly trimmed. You must take great care of them, right?" Xiao Ye shrugged and smiled. "Ziran trimmed them for me. This woman seems to be a bit of a germaphobe, she trimmed my entire body." Ziran smugly snorted, "They're too messy and ugly. If I can't mold your personality into my ideal shape, can't I at least trim your body into the shape I like?" Gu Qingcheng's sour voice echoed in Xiao Gu's mind. It's all that slut's fault. She's so possessive. When my future husband came looking for me, she snatched him away halfway, leaving me to spend 100 years alone. She's half to blame. Little Gu, have you learned all those seduction techniques I taught you before? You must do everything in your power to seduce your husband, make him fall in love with you, and become deeply infatuated with you. Gu Qingcheng nodded firmly, "I will. I've seen plenty of seduction techniques in adult films. I used to disdain using them, but now I have no choice. I, Gu Qingcheng, can slay demonic beasts, and I can definitely seduce men." The divine soul Gu Qingcheng was taken aback, teasing, "Didn't you say you were the Empress of Hangzhou, that you would never use those seduction techniques only little women use?" Gu Qingcheng's expression froze, and she retorted, "Old Gu, don't tease me. I, the Empress of Hangzhou, am also human, my perceptions and views change. What's wrong with me, the Empress of Hangzhou, using seduction techniques? I not only use them, but I use them brilliantly and perform exceptionally well." An uncomfortable feeling rose within her, igniting a fierce fighting spirit. Gu Qingcheng glanced at Xiao Ye's resolute face and thought to herself, "This man cannot escape the grasp of the Empress of Hangzhou. I will make him fall at my feet." Zhang Zunan's expression suddenly changed. "Mistress, why is the power of rules within you so chaotic? This phenomenon is like being possessed by a demon. No, it's even more serious than that. At best, it damages the foundation. At worst, it causes the body to explode and die." She was anxious. "Mistress, you have such a serious problem with your body, why didn't you tell Xianan earlier? If you had told me sooner, Xianan would have found a way to protect you, but now, it's too late?" Xiao Ye quickly grabbed Gu Qingcheng's fair hand and felt it. His hand recoiled as if he had been electrocuted. Zhang Zunun's eyes reddened, a wave of sorrow washing over her. "Mistress," she said, "we've only just met, and you're already dying. I can't bear to part with you." "Don't worry," Gu Qingcheng replied, her face darkening. "I'll find the finest materials in the world to forge the best coffin for you, so you can rest peacefully forever." Gu Qingcheng's face darkened. "Shut up. I won't die," she snapped. "Keep that coffin for yourself. I don't need it." Ziran chuckled, her beautiful eyes crinkling into crescent moons. Xiao Ye also smiled, his face showing no sign of worry. Zhang Zunan choked with sobs and looked at Xiao Ye and Ziran with incredible eyes. She said in disbelief, "My mistress is about to die, but you can still laugh. My lord, you really disappoint me. You and your mistress are so separated, but you don't care about her body at all. You were so loving, and you would do shameful things wherever you went." Xiao Ye twitched a corner of his mouth, raised his hand and gave Zhang Zuna 2 headaches, and said angrily, "I can solve this problem. Don't worry in vain. Also, don't talk nonsense, this is my sister Qingcheng, and I will not do shameful things with sister Qingcheng." Zhang Zuna covered her head with both hands in pain, and said aggrievedly, "I understand, please don't hit me, lord. I remembered that it seemed that every time the mistress had a need, the Lord agreed to do something embarrassing with the mistress. Gu Qingcheng blushed, stared, and said, "Shut up, stop talking, or I will beat you." Jiang Zuna kept her mouth shut. The divine soul Gu Qingcheng's expression was complex. In her spiritual sea, she said, "Little Nanan is right. If my future self resolves the rift between me and my husband, I will definitely cling to him day and night. I'll vent all the resentment that's accumulated in my heart over the past 100 years. As for how to vent, I'll make up for whatever I've lacked." Gu Qingcheng replied dejectedly, "It's embarrassing for me to talk about things from the future now. It's too shameful. I don't even have the face to see Xiao Ye." The divine soul Gu Qingcheng laughed, "It's alright. My husband isn't resistant to you now. Who knows what he's thinking after hearing this?" "Thinking what?" Gu Qingcheng's pretty face froze. Xiao Ye was using the template adjuster to check Gu Qingcheng's template issues. Template adjuster investigating, SSS rank destiny key Rin template, upgradable, attribute, destiny, template contains 10 destiny type rule crystals, template problem, excessive absorption of destiny type rule fragment crystals during awakening, lacking creation type, causing template instability, about to enter a berserk state, solution, remove 2 destiny type crystals and integrate 2 creation type crystals, body defect, the power of rules leaks out due to template instability, deeply hidden in the genes. Genes are structures smaller than DNA fragments, which Shiv in the Saint Realm perfection cannot repair or adjust. The rampaging power of rules causes its realm to stagnate, resulting in a very strong and domineering personality. Solution: combine absorption with Zhuanghuang gemstones and use secret massage techniques to guide out the unstable power of rules deep within the genes. Xiao Ye frowned, suddenly picked up Gu Qingcheng's soft body, and rushed into the second-floor bedroom. Chapter 467 Solving the Empress's Physical Defects. At the same time, Ziran received a telepathic message from Xiao Ye. The power of rules within Qingcheng's body is about to go berserk, similar to what happened to you last time. I need to massage her to absorb the rampaging power of rules deep within her genes. Ziran replied telepathically, "Okay." Xiao Ye replied telepathically, "Aren't you jealous? I'll be seeing Qingcheng naked later." Ziran retorted irritably, "Am I the kind of woman who can't distinguish right from wrong? Jealousy depends on the occasion and the situation. Just focus on massaging Qingcheng." Xiao Ye replied telepathically from upstairs, "Okay." Jiang Zunan asked worriedly, "Sister Ziran, does the Lord really have a solution?" Ziran smiled, "Yes, back then, my power of rules also went berserk, and he easily solved the problem for me and saved my life. So you don't need to worry." Jiang Zunan's heart settled, and her expression returned to normal. Recalling the scene from 20,000 years ago when the Lord launched a powerful attack and easily suppressed the Cosmic Imperial clan, her face flushed. The Lord is the best, he must have a way to solve the mistress's health problem. In the second-floor bedroom, Xiao Ye tossed Gu Qingcheng's soft, lithe body onto the soft cushions. With a thud, Gu Qingcheng landed heavily on the cushions. Anticipating what was to come, Gu Qingcheng closed her eyes shyly, appearing completely submissive. Xiao Ye stood on the floor and said, "Sister Qingcheng, I can solve your problem. But the solution might be a little hard for you to accept. I need to use a full-body massage to guide the chaotic power of the rules deep within your body out, and then eliminate it. You'll have to strip naked." Gu Qingcheng had already accepted this, her pretty face flushed, and she nodded, saying, "I understand, I'll cooperate." Xiao Ye was surprised, she didn't refuse or resist. That was even better. It saved him the trouble of pre-construction psychological counseling. Xiao Ye looked at the Hangzhou Empress, who was frozen on the limp floor, and reminded her, "Take it off, otherwise I can't do it." Gu Qingcheng stammered, "Then turn your head away first." Xiao Ye shrugged and turned around. 3 seconds later, he heard rustling sounds. It must be Sister Qingcheng taking off her white robe. After a while, he called out, "Sister Qingcheng, are you done? Can I turn my head now?" Gu Qingcheng had already taken off her white robe, leaving only 2 lace panties, and stood frozen in place. It was Gu Qingcheng's spirit speaking in his mind, "Little Gu, just say you can't reach behind you with your hands and can't unbutton your clothes, and ask your husband to help you. Don't hesitate, your husband will see you naked soon. What's a few buttons? If you want to win over your husband sooner, listen to my advice, I won't harm you." Gu Qingcheng went all out and said, "Xiao Ye, you, You help me, I can't reach behind me. Xiao Ye was slightly startled. Couldn't reach? Impossible. He immediately turned around and helped Gu Qingcheng unbutton her clothes. In an instant, his eyes widened. At this moment, he clearly saw that the Empress of Hangzhou was very great, very majestic. Gu Qingcheng removed her last armor in front of him. Xiao Ye's expression was normal, but his heart was in turmoil. This Empress of Hangzhou not only didn't trim her toenails, but she didn't trim any other parts of her body either. Gu Qingcheng lay stiffly on the soft cushion, her face flushed, and asked, Xiao Ye, is it pretty? Xiao Ye's gaze cleared, and he looked at her with appreciation, subconsciously replying, pretty. Sorry, I'm not taking advantage of you, I just want to fix your physical defect. Sister Qingcheng, you have to understand this. Gu Qingcheng nodded, I know, you don't need to feel guilty. Come on, I can handle it. Go ahead. Xiao Ye extracted the Empress's exclusive massage technique given by the template adjuster, his gaze fixed on the Empress's delicate body, observing her very carefully. His hands roamed over her body, not missing a single detail. Gu Qingcheng opened her eyes and saw Xiao Ye's gaze. Her face flushed, but she didn't stop him, secretly pleased, and said, Xiao Ye, can you massage me first? If you want to see, you can see later. At this moment, the power of rules within her body was extremely chaotic. Gu Qingcheng felt extremely uncomfortable, as if her entire body was being bitten by Saint Realm demonic ants, extremely painful. Every second was torture for her. Xiao Ye was mentally rehearsing the massage when he froze. He was going to watch her later? Watch what? Sister Qingcheng, everyone's template is different. I'm currently refining a massage technique specifically for you, which might take 5 minutes. I need to watch you while refining the massage technique to avoid mistakes, so please wait a few minutes. Gu Qingcheng had no choice but to endure the excruciating pain, forgetting even her embarrassment, focusing solely on the agony. Xiao Ye, come closer. I'll spread my limbs, you should be able to see more clearly. I'm in so much pain, can you hurry up? She spread her limbs wide. It hurt too much? Gu Qingcheng couldn't care less about being embarrassed now, only wanting to quickly resolve the rampaging power of the rules and restore her body to normal. Gulp. Xiao Ye's eyes widened, and he swallowed hard. The scenery of the Empress of Hangzhou was so beautiful, so unique. At this moment, he had feelings for the Empress of Hangzhou. Before, he was interested in the Empress's destiny template, now, he was interested in the Empress herself. Xiao Ye pondered, this must be love at first sight. It's definitely not lust, absolutely not. Xiao Ye, is an upright, cheerful, sunny, and helpful young man. But then, Xiao Ye shook his head, banishing the idea of love at first sight from his mind. How could a strong and arrogant woman like the Empress of Hangzhou possibly be interested in him? Sigh, I wonder which bastard will end up with the Empress of Hangzhou. Gu Qingcheng was in excruciating pain and urged, Xiao Ye, can you do it now? I can't hold back anymore, I'll scream. Xiao Ye came to his senses and said, your exclusive secret technique has been deduced. I'll fix your physical defects right away. He moved the Zhuang Huang gem from the system space into his pocket, immediately stepped forward, and began to work. First her limbs, then her torso, and finally her head. Xiao Ye grabbed Gu Qingcheng's feet. Looking at those adorable little feet, bright red and translucent, he located the acupoints. Using techniques like pressing, kneading, pricking, pinching, and hammering, he channeled energy to stimulate the acupoints, building bridges between them and gently guiding the unleashed power of the gene's deepest instincts. They felt smooth and slightly cool to the touch. He was incredibly skilled, like a massage master, activating 4 acupoints on her feet in just 10 seconds. Gu Qingcheng instantly felt the pain in her feet disappear, a wonderfully comfortable energy coursed through them. This man is something else. Gu Qingcheng opened her beautiful eyes and looked at Xiao Ye, finding his expression serious and meticulous. Her heart pounded. She thought Xiao Ye, focused on his work, was incredibly handsome. For the first time, she realized a man could be so handsome. Gu Qingcheng was completely smitten. In her mind, she thought, old Gu, I'm willing to give anything to win over my husband. Tell me any seduction techniques you have, and I, Gu Qingcheng, will use them all. No matter how shy or embarrassed I am, I'll do it. The spiritual Gu Qingcheng was dumbfounded. Little Gu, what's wrong with you? Are you broken? This is the first time you've called Xiao Ye husband. Chapter 468 Gu Qingcheng, I'm going to win over my husband. Gu Qingcheng said, he saw me naked, he has to take responsibility for me. Xiao Ye is my husband, I said it. Gu Qingcheng became excited, then if you say so, I can use those extremely seductive methods on my husband. I guarantee you'll bewitch my husband. Gu Qingcheng, okay, I'm going to win over my husband. In the bedroom, Xiao Ye finished massaging her feet, then her legs. Xiao Ye's gaze fell upon a pair of beautifully shaped, perfectly long legs. He skillfully activated the acupoints on her body. After massaging her legs, he massaged her hands and arms. In this way, the intense pain throughout Gu Qingcheng's body gradually decreased, and the areas of intense pain quickly returned to normal. Legs, hands, body. Half an hour later, only her head ached. The pain at this time was more than 3 times less than at the beginning, and it was within her tolerance range. Xiao Ye came to her head, leaned over, his head about 20 centimeters above Gu Qingcheng's face, and gently pressed his hands on her beautiful face. Gu Qingcheng stared intently at Xiao Ye's face, her beautiful eyes wide with fascination. Her heart pounded wildly. A minute later, Xiao Ye finished his massage. The Zuan Huang gem in his pocket had also absorbed all the chaotic power of the rules he had drawn out. Sister Qingcheng, the chaotic power of the rules in your body has been completely eliminated. Are you feeling better now? Gu Qingcheng, who had been lost in thought, snapped out of her reverie upon hearing this. Her pretty face flushed, and she looked away, saying, I don't feel any pain anymore. I feel so comfortable now, and my body feels much lighter. Xiao Ye clapped his hands and laughed, the problem is solved. He walked out and closed the door. Gu Qingcheng looked down and realized she was covered in sweat. Ugh, little girl is right, it's time for a trim. My husband saw me, how embarrassing. Gu Qingcheng said in her spirit form, what are you trimming? Let your husband trim it for you. Keep it. Gu Qingcheng's eyes widened. Let my husband do it? The image was too shameful. Shenhun Gu Qingcheng nodded, that's right, my husband likes collecting and raising things. How do you know what kind of things he likes? So just let him handle it. Gu Qingcheng blushed deeply, I'll listen to you. Xiao Ye returned to the living room on the first floor. Zhang Zunan immediately rushed up and asked, how is the mistress? Xiao Ye patted her head and smiled, she's fine. With your master here, the problem will definitely be solved. She's perfectly fine now. A happy smile appeared on Zhang Zunan's face. Xiao Ye looked at Ziran and said, I'll give you another massage tonight, and your figure should be back to normal. The resources for the upgrade template are all gathered, I'll upgrade it for you tomorrow. Ziran didn't immediately agree, saying, how about giving me dozens more massages so my figure surpasses its peak? Xiao Ye shook his head. No. Your previous peak was fine, surpassing it would affect the aesthetics. I won't allow it. Ziran nodded. Okay, then upgrade my template tomorrow. By the way, Xiao Bing just sent me a message, asking us to collect the upgrade resources for Qin Zir's template. Qin Zir and I had the same wedding day, marrying you at the same time. You haven't forgotten her, have you? Qin Zir? A very obedient, delicate, and exquisitely beautiful girl appeared in Xiao Ye's mind. He hadn't had much contact with Qin Zir, but he had never forgotten this beast girl. Xiao Ye nodded and said, yes, Zir is also my beast girl, so I will naturally upgrade her template. But Zir's template attributes are auspicious and curse attributes. These two types of magical beasts are very rare. I don't know if there are any in Hangzhou-based city. Ziran snorted, it's good that you haven't forgotten Zir. Zir is simple and obedient. She has never competed with us for affection and has always silently accompanied us. You can't be cold to her. As for magical beasts with auspicious and curse attributes, there are curse attribute magical beasts in Hangzhou-based city, but I don't know about auspicious attribute ones. However, although auspicious attribute magical beasts are rare, can they be rarer than time-related attributes? Zhang Zunan's had raised a question mark. My lord, templates can be upgraded? She already knew a lot about the basic information of Blue Star and knew that Blue Star was now in the era of beast girls, and the template level represented cultivation talent and aptitude. In Blue Star, templates cannot be upgraded. Xiao Ye smiled and said, that's right, I can upgrade the template. Zhang Zunan's face lit up with joy, and she asked, my lord, I don't have a template. Can my aptitude be upgraded? Xiao Ye was taken aback. A starry sky beast's aptitude? He activated the template adjuster, quasi-mythical grade aptitude starlight type starry sky beast, upgradable, a very concise investigation result. No physical defects or aptitude issues. Xiao Ye was somewhat surprised. The little maid's aptitude was actually quasi-mythical. Quasi-mythical grade is above SSS grade aptitude and below mythical grade, falling between the two. If mythical grade aptitude is 200 times that of SSS grade aptitude, then quasi-mythical grade is probably dozens of times that of SSS grade. This aptitude far surpasses SSS grade. Ziren asked curiously, Xiao Ye, Xiao Nanan is a starry sky beast. Can you improve her aptitude? Zhang Zunan also looked on with curiosity. Xiao Ye grabbed Zhang Zunan's soft, boneless little hand and kneaded it. Let me observe her a little longer. He extracted the resource information for upgrading starry sky beasts, 50 creation type items, 50 stellar core fragments, 50 black hole core fragments. Xiao Ye's eyes widened. Stellar core fragments? Black hole core fragments? Stars, as the name suggests, are similar to the sun. Black holes are celestial bodies in the universe with extremely large masses that are invisible and inescapable. Obtaining core fragments of these two types of celestial bodies is incredibly difficult. Ziren looked suspicious. Xiao Ye, you're not trying to take advantage of Xiao Nanan, are you? Taking advantage of her? I remember you observed the template's basic information without physical contact. Xiao Ye's face turned awkward. Zhang Zunan said with a grin, it's okay, I belong to the Lord, I don't mind. Ziren's lips twitched. Xiao Ye coughed and said, little Nanan's aptitude can be upgraded. Her current aptitude level is quasi-mythical, between SSS and mythical levels. However, little Nanan's upgrade resources are stellar core fragments and black hole core fragments. With her current strength, collecting them is extremely difficult. Ziren's face darkened. It seems we can't improve little Nanan's aptitude at this stage. Zhang Zunan grinned, my lord, sister Ziren, I have these two things in my storage space. In the depths of the universe, there are many broken stars and broken black holes. When I followed my lord and mistress, I picked up a lot of trash that they didn't want, including stellar core fragments and black hole core fragments. Xiao Ye and Ziren were stunned. They already had them? That's great. Since you have them, your aptitude level will be upgraded tomorrow as well, Xiao Ye said with a smile. Zhang Zunyu nodded vigorously, overjoyed, and said, yes, my lord. At this moment, Gu Qingcheng, having finished bathing, came downstairs in a fitted white robe, her hair still wet. Her pretty face was flushed with embarrassment. She glanced at Xiao Ye and immediately looked away. Old Gu, shall I have our husband trim my hair now? Gu Qingcheng nodded, yes, don't worry about Ziren, she won't stop you. Chapter 469 Xiao Ye, you have to take responsibility for us. Gu Qingcheng was a little hesitant to look at Xiao Ye, replying in her mind, I understand. But how do I ask him to help me directly? Gu Qingcheng, her spirit form, confidently smiled, hands on her hips, no problem, I have a way. Send a telepathic message to Zhang Zunan, have her urge her husband to come and trim your hair. Gu Qingcheng's beautiful eyes lit up, it was indeed a good idea. Gu Qingcheng chuckled, our husband is a lecherous old man, meaning he's a total pervert, foot fetish, leg fetish, breast fetish, hand fetish, butt fetish. Your actions this time will definitely make him swoon. Gu Qingcheng opened her mouth, somewhat shocked. So many fetishes? Beside her, Ziren, Xiao Ye, and Zhang Zunan observed Gu Qingcheng, noticing her rosy complexion, she was alright. Report. A soldier's report came from outside the city lord's palace. Gu Qingcheng's expression changed. Only in major incidents would the reporting soldiers notify her, otherwise, she could have her subordinates handle it. Wait for me, I'll go check. In an instant, the smile on her beautiful face vanished, replaced by an imposing and awe-inspiring aura, a powerful presence emanating from her. She regained the composure befitting the Empress of Hangzhou and arrived at the palace gate. What is it? Gu Qingcheng asked calmly. The messenger knelt on one knee, clasped his hands, and said, reporting to your majesty, there's a group of women causing trouble outside, about 200 of them. Gu Qingcheng frowned and reprimanded, break the limbs of the leader, cripple him. The rest are to be expelled from the Hangzhou base city, never to set foot there again. The messenger replied, yes. He turned and left, muttering to himself, those women have been deceived by Xiao Ye. It seems Xiao Ye is your majesty's friend. Gu Qingcheng's hearing was exceptional. Even at such close range, she heard it clearly. Wait. She flashed to the messenger's side. Tell me the details. Gu Qingcheng was very concerned and took the matter very seriously regarding Xiao Ye. Moreover, this soldier claimed that Xiao Ye had deceived those women's feelings. The soldier clasped his hands and said, Your Majesty, those women say that your friend Xiao Ye stole their innocence, their hearts, their emotions, and their resources, which is why they've come to cause trouble. They say they want to see Lord Xiao Ye. Gu Qingcheng frowned. Are those women from other base cities? She had accompanied Xiao Ye almost the entire time he was in Hangzhou, staying by his side the whole time, so it was impossible for Xiao Ye to have provoked those women. But she didn't know this before Xiao Ye came to Hangzhou. The soldier shook his head. No, these women are all residents of the Hangzhou base city. Gu Qingcheng's face turned cold, her beautiful eyes burning with anger, and an overwhelming aura of pressure emanated from her. Bang! The soldier couldn't withstand the pressure and collapsed to the ground, unable to move a finger due to the overwhelming force. Kill them all. Kill all those women. Gu Qingcheng said, each word distinct. She was furious. How dare someone from her own base city, the Hangzhou base city, slander Xiao Ye? These people deserve to die. Yes. The messenger, prostrate on the ground, said with difficulty, Your Majesty, may I get up? Gu Qingcheng suppressed her aura. Hurry up. The messenger rubbed his aching limbs and quickly walked away, his eyes filled with lingering fear. He had almost died. Ziran, Zhang Zunan, and Xiao Ye, hearing the commotion, came to Gu Qingcheng's side. Gu Qingcheng's imposing aura vanished, and a smile instantly appeared on her face, making her seem more approachable. It was just a small matter, I've taken care of it, she said with a smile. Ziran rolled her eyes. Do you think we are deaf? We heard everything. The soldier said there were many women outside the city lord's mansion shouting to see Xiao Ye, right? Qingcheng, you got angry just now. It seems you care a lot about Xiao Ye. Even when solving problems, you resort to the most extreme methods. Gu Qingcheng's face fell. Xiao Ye stroked his chin and said, I definitely wouldn't contact those women, which means someone is pulling the strings behind the scenes to annoy me. Those women in the public eye are just the first to stick their necks out. What we should do now is to find out who's behind this and make that person pay a heavy price. Gu Qingcheng nodded. It was my oversight. After discussing their strategy, the group decided to head to the main gate of the city lord's mansion together. 10 seconds later, Xiao Ye, Gu Qingcheng, Ziran, and Zhang Zunyu arrived above the main hall of the city lord's mansion, looking down at the more than 200 women gathered at the entrance. They were women of varying qualities, tall and short, thin and plump. The young ones looked incredibly youthful, while the older ones needed canes. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. These common beauties aren't even good enough for a brothel. Would I even look at them? If you want to slander me, at least find some top-tier beauties, like Ziran's wife. Ziran rolled her eyes. I'm the most beautiful woman in the capital, and even the most beautiful woman in Hangzhou can rival me. Where would I find someone behind me? Xiao Ye smiled. Ziran, do you think I would deceive the hearts of these women? Ziran looked down, her face full of disdain, and said, These trash, even if you were starving to the point of madness, you wouldn't go after them. Any female entertainer in a brothel who doesn't sell her body would crush them in looks, temperament, and figure. Thump thump thump. A series of orderly footsteps came from below. 10 fully armed guards surrounded more than 200 women. Kill. Leave no one alive. The general of Hangzhou waved his hand. The women, of varying character, cried out in discontent, Xiao Ye, come out here. You stole my innocence, you have to take responsibility. Xiao Ye, you cheated me out of my retirement resources, give them back. You can't treat us like this, we are the victims. Just as the order squad's attacks were about to land on these elderly, weak, women, and children, Gu Qingcheng's calm voice resounded throughout the hall. Capture them. After a short while, more than 200 women were captured and made to kneel in the main hall of the city lord's mansion. Gu Qingcheng sat on a high seat, with Ziran, Zhang Zunan, and Xiao Ye standing on either side. Gu Qingcheng's expression was cold and her voice icy as she said, Tell me who ordered you, or you'll die. After dealing with this group, she still needed Xiao Ye to prune them. She wanted to quickly resolve this situation and find the mastermind behind it all. The women kneeling on the ground looked at the Empress with reverence and confessed, Your Majesty, we are not lying. Xiao Ye stole our innocence and swindled us out of our cultivation resources. The one standing next to you, oh, why does he look even more handsome? Wow, when did Xiao Ye become so charismatic? He looks even younger than yesterday. There's no mistake, you heartless man. Although you've become more handsome, younger, and more charismatic today, I won't forget your face. Gu Qingchang frowned deeply. According to you, there really is a person named Xiao Ye who has swindled you out of your hearts and cultivation resources. She deduced that someone must have impersonated Xiao Ye to deceive these women and steal their hearts and possessions. Chapter 470 Xiao Ye helps the Empress trim. The group of women, of varying heights and builds, were fuming. Gu Qingchang snorted coldly, quiet. I understand your situation. The women immediately fell silent. They trusted the Empress of Hangzhou implicitly. In their minds, the Empress was a benevolent city lord who cared deeply for her people. Gu Qingchang glanced at them indifferently. These past few days, Xiao Ye has been with me the entire time, accompanying me on business trips outside the city. The womanizer who deceived you is someone else entirely. If I'm not mistaken, that person is impersonating Xiao Ye to swindle resources from you. The women were stunned. More than half of them believed Gu Qingchang's words. However, a small group raised objections, saying, Your Majesty, we have great respect for you and have shown no disrespect to the city lord's mansion. We request that Xiao Ye be searched to see if he has any resources that he has swindled from us. Gu Qingchang's face turned cold. Shut up. Her powerful aura erupted, pressing down on the woman who had spoken, making her breathless and drenched in sweat. Jiang Zunyun was extremely impatient. She flashed to the group of women, grabbed the most arrogant middle-aged woman at the front by the collar, and lifted her up, angrily saying, You people, even the highest-ranking one, is only at the great venerable realm. Is it worth my lord deceiving you? Deceiving your feelings and swindling your resources? My lord's beast girl, Sister Xiren, is the leader of the Supreme Alliance, a Saint Realm expert. Your worthless resources, even if given to my lord, he wouldn't want them. See my lord, the sister in the purple dress next to Xiao Ye? She is the leader of the Supreme Alliance. Ah, this? The group of women were stunned. In their understanding, a Saint Realm expert was the most powerful being, standing at the pinnacle of Blue Star. If what this beautiful woman said was true, then the one who deceived their feelings was most likely someone else. Jiang Zunin snorted, You'd better think before you speak. If you upset Sister Xiren, she can kill you all without any consequence. The group of women instantly shut their mouths, their gazes towards Xiao Ye filled with fear. This beautiful woman couldn't possibly lie in front of the Empress of Hangzhou, so what she said must be true. Jiang Zunin returned to Xiao Ye's side, grinning, My lord, even I, Xiaonan, can solve your problems. Isn't my little maid useful? Xiao Ye calmly replied, No need to explain to them. You're being redundant. Jiang Zunin's expression froze. Gu Qingchang waved her hand, You can go now. Live your normal lives for a while. That flower thief will likely still be around. I'll send some spies to capture him. The group of women slowly departed. Gu Qingchang looked at Xiao Ye, her face apologetic, and said, I'm sorry this happened in Hangzhou, which I manage. I will catch that person and eliminate him completely. Xiao Ye smiled, Send someone to find me a strand of that philanderer's hair, skin, or blood. I can find him. Framing me, Xiao Ye, he's finished. Gu Qingchang nodded thoughtfully and immediately sent a telepathic message to her guards to carry out the task. Jiang Zunin stood to the side, pouting, feeling somewhat aggrieved. She wanted to help her lord, but was told it was unnecessary. Humph, she, Xiaonan, wasn't just a pretty face, she was a quasi-emperor realm-perfected starry sky beast. She could definitely help her lord. Immediately, Jiang Zunin released her divine sense, silently infiltrating every corner of the Hangzhou base city. Target, the philanderer disguised as her lord. No, has he left the city? Jiang Zunin frowned. She released her divine sense silently, without even Gu Qingchang noticing. Gu Qingchang sent her a telepathic message. Little girl, your mistress needs your help with something. Jiang Zunu's face lit up with joy upon hearing this. She patted her chest and transmitted her voice. What is it, mistress? Please tell me. No matter what it is, little girl can do it. This little maid of hers was valuable and capable. Gu Qingchang nodded in satisfaction and transmitted her voice. You should know the state of my relationship with your master. Do you want your master and I to become like you saw back then, Very loving and intimate? Jiang Zunyu nodded vigorously and transmitted her voice, yes, yes, I do. Then suggest that your master trim my nails later. How about it? Jiang Zunyu asked in surprise, so simple? No problem, mistress, I'll take care of it. It was already 10 o'clock at night. The 3 people and 1 beast returned to the city lord's palace, to the living room on the first floor. All 4 were powerful cultivators, capable of going a year without sleep or food without any problems. Jiang Zunan pulled Gu Qingcheng to sit next to Xiao Ye, then took off Gu Qingcheng's shoes, held her delicate white feet on her lap, stroked her chin, and said, Mistress, let me trim your nails. Gu Qingcheng nodded. Xiao Ye kept his eyes straight ahead, feeling something was amiss. Why was Jiang Zunan making Gu Qingcheng sit so close to him? There were so many sofas, why did she have to sit so close to him? Oh dear. Jiang Zunan placed Gu Qingcheng's feet on Xiao Ye's lap and laughed, My lord, mistress is your wife, why don't you trim her nails? Xiao Ye quickly refused, Don't talk nonsense, Qingcheng and I are completely innocent. Gu Qingcheng looked somewhat disappointed. Jiang Zunu's beautiful eyes flashed with a sly glint. She rolled her eyes and said, My lord, I don't know how to trim my nails yet. Your nails are trimmed so neatly and simply. Could you trim them for me and give me a demonstration? 1 demonstration is enough. I'll be able to do it next time. Xiao Ye was somewhat resistant and said, Let Ziran do it. Sister Ziran trim mine for me. Ziran waved her hand. You want me to trim Qingcheng's stinky feet? No way, absolutely not. Xiao Ye, you go ahead. You can do it. She pushed Xiao Ye and urged him. Jiang Zunyu swiftly placed the trimming tools in Xiao Ye's hands, hoisted Gu Qingcheng's feet onto his arms, and giggled, My lord, please don't refuse. Xiao Ye passively held a pair of delicate white feet, hesitatingly asking, Sister Qingcheng, are you sure you want me to do this? Gu Qingcheng's eyes were filled with shyness as she replied, I don't mind. Xiao Ye's lips twitched. All right. Then, with his rough, large hands, he carefully trimmed each of the Hangzhou Empress's delicate white feet. During the process, Xiao Ye picked up a foot and sniffed it. Then he sniffed his own hand. Ziran looked at him with disdain. Don't you find it disgusting? You even put it under your nose to smell it. Those stinky feet must smell awful. After you're done, you have to wash your hands and face, otherwise don't touch me. Xiao Ye's face darkened, and he flicked her forehead, saying irritably, You even shoved your feet in my mouth before. And I didn't rinse my mouth afterwards, and you kissed me too. Ziran's face flushed. That's not the same thing. Mine doesn't smell. Gu Qingcheng gritted her teeth and glared at Ziran, saying, Xiao Ye, mine shouldn't smell, right? Xiao Ye blurted out, It doesn't smell, it's just... He paused halfway through his sentence. Gu Qingcheng became anxious, Just what? Chapter 471 Xiao Ye, this foot is so sore to chew on. It'll definitely be sour to eat. Xiao Ye didn't dare say it aloud. Under Gu Qingcheng's gaze, he shook his head and said, It's nothing. Gu Qingcheng. He must think I have some flaws, but there are some things he can't say. 10 minutes later, the trimming was finished. Xiao Ye lifted them up and placed them in front of Ziran's face, saying, Ziran, did I trim them well? They're not worse than yours, right? Ziran pushed her feet away with some disgust, looking disdainful, and said, Take them away, they stink. Xiao Ye picked them up and smelled them, They don't stink. You're a pervert, smelling them. Ziran was speechless. Gu Qingcheng quickly took them back, put on her shoes, and hopped around on the ground a couple of times, feeling very happy. In her mind, Gu Qingcheng chuckled, Little Gu, how about it? Is my husband an old pervert? Gu Qingcheng nodded and replied, Yes. I didn't know before, but now I clearly understand. I haven't even smelled my feet myself, but he smelled them several times. If Xiao Ye knew their conversation, he might be furious. Xiao Ye, was an upright, honest, and cheerful young man. When did he become an old pervert? An old pervert is a lecherous old man. Gu Qingcheng slapped her forehead, Oh dear, I almost forgot, you should wear black stockings. Your husband will definitely be attracted to you. If I remember correctly, he collected these things. Gu Qingcheng's eyes widened, Xiao Ye has such a perverted fetish? She gave Xiao Ye a deep look, a smile appearing on her pretty face. No matter what he was like, she was stuck with him for life. Gu Qingcheng, with her divine soul, said, There are many things you don't know, But they're all harmless little things. But if you had them, if you use those seduction methods, you'd definitely be more attractive to your husband. Gu Qingchang seemed thoughtful. Gu Qingchang thought for a moment, then said with a hint of annoyance, "You must catch that womanizer. I didn't have a good impression of my husband back then. When those women came to the city lord's mansion, I subconsciously thought that he had deceived their feelings and swindled them out of their cultivation resources, which made my attitude towards him even worse. During that time, my husband and I had a very unpleasant argument. That womanizer was the fuse. You must catch him and punish him." Gu Qingcheng's face hardened. "You don't need to tell me, I'll catch him. Anyone who dares to slander the man I've set my sights on, no matter who they are, is unacceptable." Zhang Zunu's divine sense, which had been permeating every corner of Hangzhou, suddenly brightened. "Found him. That man has appeared. My lord, mistress, please wait a moment." Zhang Zunu disappeared in a flash, and 10 seconds later, she returned to the three of them, carrying a man by the neck with one hand. Bang! She threw him to the ground, and the flower thieves had hit the ground, making him dizzy. Everyone stared, and saw that this man had used some kind of disguise method, and in terms of figure and face, he was 3 parts similar to Xiao Ye. However, upon closer inspection, he was older than Xiao Ye and very lewd. Especially his small eyes, which looked sinister and made people very uncomfortable. Xiao Ye walked up to him with interest, looked down at him, and said, "Only at the venerable realm. You, buddy, your disguise is not good enough, it's not convincing enough." The flower thief's pupils shrank. He had actually seen the real person. Moreover, the Empress of Hangzhou was next to him. Fear rose in his heart, he felt that he was doomed. The flower thief reached out and wiped his face, returning to his original appearance. It was a middle-aged man with a lewd face. The womanizer, with a mournful face, said, "Lord Xiao Ye, if I could perfectly impersonate you, would I need to deceive those ugly women's feelings? I could just find a rich woman and ask her to take care of me." Xiao Ye laughed. "You know me?" The womanizer's eyes showed admiration. "Of course, you are the #1 young person in the Dragon Kingdom. Don't let my old appearance fool you, I'm only 20 years old. I just used a talent skill that overdraws my lifespan, so I look older. I am also a prodigy in the Magic City." Xiao Ye's lips twitched. "Then you do look old." Ziran walked over, wanting to stomp on his head, but Xiao Ye stopped her. The flower thief's eyes lit up. "Lord Xiao Ye, I'm your fan. Can you let me go? I promise I won't impersonate you again." Xiao Ye ignored him and said to Ziran, "Why did you step on him? To reward him?" Ziran. The flower thief. Ziran rolled her eyes. "Xiao Ye, your thought process is truly unique. What do you plan to do with this guy? Let him go?" The flower thief looked at Xiao Ye with hope. Just as Xiao Ye was about to speak, Gu Qingchang walked over, snorted coldly, and an oppressive aura emanated from her. The flower thief shuddered, spat out a mouthful of black blood, and looked terrified. He hurriedly begged for mercy. "Empress of Hangzhou, please let me go. I will return those cultivation resources to those ugly women and make amends. After this is done, I will immediately leave Hangzhou and never set foot in Hangzhou again." He was on the verge of tears. He had only just entered Hangzhou today and had been captured by an extremely beautiful woman. Otherwise, he would definitely continue to impersonate Xiao Ye to gain benefits. Gu Qingchang's expression was icy, her gaze like that of someone looking at a dead man, and she frowned, saying, "Since you did it, you have to pay the price." Xiao Ye coughed. Gu Qingchang was taken aback, then smiled. "Xiao Ye, how do you want to punish him?" Xiao Ye shrugged and said, "This person is my fan. Of course, I will treat my fans well. Hey, go away. Don't let me see you again. If I see you next time, you'll be in big trouble." The flower thief looked grateful, but a shadow of gloom flashed deep in his eyes. He kowtowed 3 times, saying, "Lord Xiao Ye, thank you very much. I promise I will never let you see this stinking rat again." Xiao Ye nodded, waved his hand, and turned away. The flower thief, now with his original face restored, was overjoyed, his face beaming with excitement. He dashed away in a flash, as if he wished he had 2 more legs. Ziran looked at Xiao Ye in surprise. "You just let him go like that?" Gu Qingchang's understanding of Xiao Ye was refreshed once again. Xiao Ye was actually so magnanimous, so open-minded. This kind of unpretentious man is indeed worthy of being a powerful force in the starry sky. Xiao Ye's lips twitched, Who said I let him go? Anyone who offends me, Xiao Ye, must pay the price. I'll give him hope and then let him despair, teach him a lesson so he won't mess with me again in his next life. Little Nanan, bring him back. Jiang Zunan's beautiful eyes lit up, and she said with a grin, yes, my lord. She disappeared in a flash. Gu Qingcheng. Pretend she didn't say anything. Gu Qingcheng chuckled and said, my husband is quite cunning. Gu Qingcheng nodded, her expression complicated, indeed. 3 seconds later, Jiang Zunan returned to the group, carrying the flower thief. Bang! She threw him to the ground again. The flower thief was stunned by the blow. When he looked up, he saw Xiao Ye's sunny and cheerful smile. Hey, we meet again, Xiao Ye said with a smirk. Chapter 472 Empress, you will fall in love with me. Do you remember what I said? Xiao Ye gave a kind smile. The flower thief's face contorted into a grimace. Brother Xiao, don't kill me. I'm an SSS rank succubus template. I can seduce not only women, but also magical beasts. I can be your underling, helping you lure magical beasts and acting as your vanguard. Ziran and Gu Qingcheng looked on with disdain. Lure magical beasts? Not very useful. In the era of beast girls, strength and power were paramount. Before absolute power, all schemes and tricks were worthless. Oh? Xiao Ye stroked his chin, took out a great venerable crystal core, and tossed it onto the ground near the flower thief. You want to be my underling? The flower thief didn't immediately pick up the crystal core, nodding vigorously. Yes, brother Xiao. Who among the younger generation of the Dragon Kingdom doesn't know your abilities? It would be our honor to follow you. He wondered to himself, what did Xiao Ye mean by this? Giving him a crystal core? Was this a gesture of goodwill? Or was it a test of his attitude, an analysis of whether he was a greedy person? Should he pick up this crystal core? Gu Qingcheng transmitted her voice. Xiao Ye, are you not planning to kill him? Xiao Ye transmitted his voice to the 3 women. Who said I'm not going to kill him? If this person picks up the crystal core and accepts it, it means he's too greedy. Keeping him around would be a disaster. He should be killed. If he doesn't pick up the crystal core and doesn't accept it, it means he's too cunning. Keeping him around would be even more of a disaster. He must be killed. Gu Qingcheng's lips twitched. Ziran rolled her eyes. So no matter what choice this person makes, he's going to die. After thinking for a moment, the flower thief immediately crawled over, picked up the crystal core, a bright smile appeared on his face, and he held the crystal core in front of Xiao Ye with both hands, saying expectantly, Brother Xiao, you dropped your crystal core. He was very excited, giving himself a thumbs up for his performance. Surrendering is expressing one's attitude, and he was now expressing his attitude. Gu Qingcheng was somewhat surprised. This person had actually chosen the certain death option. He had some brains. Ziran looked at Xiao Ye with interest, wondering how he would respond. Jiang Zunan leaned against the sofa with her arms crossed, her beautiful eyes flashing with shrewdness. Even if the Lord spared him, she would secretly kill him. Daring to impersonate her Lord to swindle resources, he deserved to die. The Lord was afraid of getting his hands dirty, so she, Jiang Zunan, would do it. The Lord was magnanimous and played the good guy, so she, Jiang Zunan, would be the bad guy. She wasn't just a pretty face, she was a cosmic behemoth at the peak of the quasi-emperor realm. She, Jiang Zunan, was the Lord's killing weapon, a visible assassin who bore the world's infamy for him. Xiao Ye's lips curled into a smile as he picked up the crystal core and put it away. The flower thief also smiled, a very happy smile. He should have passed the test and wouldn't die. But Xiao Ye's words suddenly changed, freezing his smile. You're too scheming. Xiao Ye, don't want your lackey who can stab you in the back at any time. So, please rest in peace. Xiao Ye's tone was calm, but his words sent a chill down the thief's spine. Looking at the seemingly benevolent smile on Xiao Ye's face, the thief felt this man was a devil. Gu Qingcheng's pretty face froze. Xiao Ye really didn't intend to let this person go. Ziran looked at Xiao Ye with his hands behind his back and licked her lips. This is too much fun. She really wanted to devour Xiao Ye right now and drain him dry. Whoosh! The thief tried to escape without looking back, slamming his head into the ground, trying to burrow underground. But a heavy thud sounded. He didn't burrow underground as he expected. Instead, his head made solid contact with the ground, drawing blood. The thief felt stars spinning before his eyes, his head spinning. PFFT. Jiang Zunan laughed. Her divine sense had long since imprisoned and locked onto this womanizer. How could she let him escape? Xiao Ye looked at the womanizer, casually unleashing a burst of energy that caused the venerable realm womanizer's heart to stop, bringing him to the brink of death. Then, he activated the rule fragment extraction function of the template adjuster, succubus attribute, earth attribute, choose one. Xiao Ye chose the succubus attribute. A vast and profound power descended, engulfing the womanizer. AOW. Ugh. The womanizer seemed to be suffering the most severe torture in the world. Every muscle in his body convulsed, his face contorted, and he continuously emitted painful cries, yet his eyes were fixed on Xiao Ye with a sinister glint. Xiao Ye watched with a faint smile, saying, "Don't mess with me in your next life." In less than 10 seconds, the womanizer's body turned into specks of light that dissipated into the air. Xiao Ye waved his hand, using the destructive talent skill from the Nine-Tailed Celestial Fox ancestor template, Ultimate Annihilation. The putrid odor and countless tiny atoms in the air were instantly annihilated, turning into nothingness. A venerable realm human has successfully extracted 3 fragments of succubus attribute rules. Xiao Ye shrugged, looked at Ziran, and smiled. This is the first time I've used this ability on a human. Ziran's beautiful eyes sparkled as she leaned closer, her eyes filled with affection, and said, "You little rascal, I'm finding myself liking you more and more. I want to devour you right now. What should I do?" Xiao Ye could clearly sense that Ziran had a fever. "Can't you hold it in?" His eyelids twitched. Ziran gave a soft snort, rashly pulling him upstairs, and said coldly, "Hold it in my ass. I married you for this very thing. Qingcheng, Zhang Zunan, you two shouldn't follow us. See you tomorrow." Gu Qingcheng and Zhang Zunan stared at each other, wide-eyed. Zhang Zunan frowned. "Mistress, aren't you with the master yet? Aren't you doing anything intimate with him?" Gu Qingcheng blushed and sighed. "Yes, our relationship is still very innocent. I'd love to, but our relationship isn't close enough. I can only dream about it." Zhang Zunan giggled. "Mistress, how about I knock the master unconscious and put him on your bed? I guarantee you can do whatever you want without him noticing." Gu Qingcheng's lips twitched. "Do you think I'm very horny?" Zhang Zunan nodded without hesitation. "Mistress has always been very horny." Gu Qingcheng's face darkened. In the little maid's memory, she was actually a sexually unsatisfied woman. Thump. She flicked Zhang Zunan's forehead, saying irritably, "That's me from the future, not me now. I'm not with Xiao Ye yet." Zhang Zunan covered her head with both hands. "Oh. Mistress, I almost forgot, the you I saw 20,000 years ago were you who traveled back from the future. But don't worry, mistress. Little Nanan will bring mistress and master together, you'll be together sooner or later," she said with a smile, her pretty face showing excitement. Facing the little maid who had signed a master-servant contract with her, Gu Qingcheng said frankly, "Okay, you have to cooperate with me more in the future, and make Xiao Ye fall in love with me." Zhang Zunan nodded, "I'll do whatever mistress asks me to do. But I seem to be a little incompetent as a little maid. I haven't even scrubbed master's body or warmed his bed. I heard that maids also have to relieve their master's desires. Little Nanan can do all that." If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 473 Future Empress, Knockout Husband. Gu Qingcheng glared at her, her tone unfriendly. "No. You can't scrub Xiao Ye's body, warm his bed, or relieve his desires. Just do your best with things like foot scrubbing, that's fine." Zhang Zunan, hands on her hips, said, "Mistress, I have to do everything a maid should do, it's my duty. I not only have to serve you well, but also serve the master well." Gu Qingcheng glanced at her sideways. "You're disobedient? Are you sure?" Zhang Zunan said aggrievedly, "Little girl is very obedient. Mistress will do whatever you ask, but please don't stop me from being a maid." Gu Qingcheng sighed, "That makes me sound like a villain. I'm not stopping you from being a maid." Zhang Zunan didn't back down, saying, "Mistress, in my understanding, a maid's main role is to scrub the body, warm the bed, relieve the master's desires, be the master's killing weapon, and protect the master and you from fatal harm. If you don't let Xiao Nanan do these things, am I still a maid? Anyway, mistress, please don't restrict me in this regard." Gu Qingchang's divine soul spoke in her mind, "Little Gu, this is such a responsible and hard-working servant, but servants also have thoughts and freedom. They are not puppets to be ordered around by you. You're restricting her like this. Is it because you lack self-confidence? Are you insecure? Do you think Xiao Ye will be snatched away by her?" Gu Qingchang's face froze, her thoughts had been exposed, and she felt somewhat embarrassed. She opened her mouth, feeling speechless. She was indeed insecure. After Zhang Zunan transformed, she was no less beautiful or had a better figure than her. Moreover, in terms of status and cultivation, she was much higher than her, which made her feel a sense of urgency. Regarding winning over Xiao Ye, she no longer had the confidence and sense of control she once had, which made her somewhat uneasy. Shenhen Gu Qingchang clicked her tongue and said, "Little Gu, what you need to do is make our husband fall in love with you, not engage in scheming and creating a bloodbath with Xiao Nanan. If you even have to scheme against Zhang Zunan, what will you do when Xiao Ye goes to the realm of rules, or even the cosmos, and encounters even more outstanding beast girls? You'll never be able to stop fighting. Besides, do you know what our husband hates most?" Gu Qingchang frowned. "What is it?" Shenhen Gu Qingchang blurted out, "Our husband hates disharmony among his beast girls, fighting amongst themselves. Don't underestimate our husband just because his cultivation level is low now. He's the backbone of us beast girls. He generally doesn't force us to do anything, but once he asks us to do something, we're all very obedient, cooperating with each other like telepaths to complete what he says. In the next 100 years, we might get jealous and angry because of the different levels of affection our husband shows to the beast girls, but we've never schemed against each other, at least not among ourselves around him. We all have a good relationship with each other, like sisters. Don't let my hatred for that slut Ziren fool you, we're actually on good terms." After a lecture, Gu Qingchang fell silent. She pondered for a long time, then sighed in her mind, "I know what to do." She spoke aloud, "Little girl, I don't care how you serve your master, whether it's scrubbing his body, warming his bed, or relieving his desires, it's all up to you. But I hope you'll cooperate with what I ask of you." Jiangzu's pretty face lit up with joy, and she giggled, "Don't worry, mistress, of course I'll help you. You and the master are a couple, you should be together. By the way, Sister Ziren is upgrading her template tomorrow, and I'll be upgrading my talent too." Gu Qingchang was surprised. Ziren is upgrading her template? Can templates be upgraded? She only knew Xiao Ye was a mythical level template, she had never heard of templates being able to upgrade. Zhang Zunan raised her head and chuckled, "Of course. This is what Master told me himself. Little Nanan's talent can also be upgraded." Gu Qingchang asked doubtfully, "What kind of talent do you have?" Zhang Zunan put her hands on her hips and laughed heartily, "Near mythical level talent. Little Nanan has near mythical level talent, between SSS and mythical levels, nearly 100 times stronger than a typical SSS level." Hiss. Gu Qingchang gasped. This little maid's talent was actually near mythical level. "According to you, after you and Ziren upgrade, you'll be mythical level?" Her eyes widened in disbelief. In her understanding and concept, the template was unupgradable. Whatever level you were born at, that was your level for life, there was no such thing as upgrading. Zhang Zunyu nodded. "That's right, after my sister Ziren and I upgraded our aptitudes, we'll both be at the mythical level. Among the myriad races of the starry sky, there are also cosmic treasures for upgrading aptitudes, but they are extremely rare. Only those cosmic overlord imperial clans possess them. Once they appear in the cosmic planetary sandbox, they cause a frenzy of fighting. It's nothing like how easy it is for you, my lord." Gu Qingchang's face darkened, and her mood plummeted. After Zhang Zunu's aptitude upgrade, she reached the mythical level, further enhancing the little maid's charm and value. Gu Qingchang's template level was only SSS level top tier, about 25 times stronger than a typical SSS level template, and even that, she was already quite proud. But after Zhang Zunu's upgrade, she was estimated to be over 100 times stronger than Gu Qingchang's SSS level top tier. "Old Gu, can my husband really upgrade templates?" "Upgrade anyone's template?" she asked in her mind. The divine soul Gu Qingchang nodded, undeniably saying, "That's right, my husband can upgrade anyone's template level. Whether it's a human, a magical beast, a cosmic behemoth, or an alien from any of the myriad races of the universe, it doesn't matter." Gu Qingchang was shocked. Xiao Ye's awesomeness was far greater than she had ever imagined. Old Gu, do you think I can really make my husband fall in love with me? Do I, the Empress of Hangzhou, still have any appeal? She asked uncertainly in her mind. The divine soul Gu Qingcheng laughed, her silvery laughter echoing in her mind. Gu Qingcheng's face darkened, her fists clenched tightly. You're mocking me. Old Gu, I'm asking you a question. Don't forget, you are me, and I am you. If I win over our husband, it's the same as you winning over our husband. If I, Gu Qingcheng, am at a disadvantage, it's the same as you, Old Gu, being at a disadvantage. The divine soul Gu Qingcheng's laughter abruptly stopped, like a fishbone stuck in her throat, unable to be spat out or swallowed, the smile on her face freezing. Old Gu's lips twitched. After a long silence, he said, it's alright. Knowing my husband as I do, he's probably very envious of your destiny template. As for what level the template is, my husband doesn't care. Because no matter what level it is, whether it's SSS or F, he can upgrade it to mythical. You definitely have an attraction for my husband, because on Blue Star, you're the only destiny template. My husband has a penchant for collecting and nurturing, and he also has a desire to collect these special and awesome templates. Besides, our Gu Qingcheng has both looks and figure, so why would she be afraid of not being able to win over my husband? If you're direct, just knock my husband unconscious, have sex with him once, and then ask him to take responsibility afterwards. Knowing him as I do, he'll definitely take responsibility. Gu Qingcheng was somewhat tempted. So you mean, I should just have sex with my husband and make him take responsibility? And then cling to him and make him take responsibility? Her beautiful eyes sparkled, her heart filled with anticipation. Chapter 474 Ziran's figure returns to its peak state. This tactic is a trump card, we can't use it lightly. Forcing my husband to do things he doesn't like will drastically lower his impression of us. We have a great chance of winning him over now, we should proceed gradually, not to the extreme. Gu Qingcheng was startled and quickly explained. Seeing Xiao Gu's expression, she knew she was tempted and really wanted to knock her husband unconscious and force the issue. Gu Qingcheng was somewhat disappointed, she had thought she could be with Xiao Ye directly. However, she also felt that what old Gu said made sense. Such things shouldn't be taken to extremes, as it might backfire. It wouldn't be good to gain a small advantage and lose a big one. Meanwhile, after Ziran pulled Xiao Ye upstairs, Xiao Ye was giving her a final massage. If the effect was good, after this massage, Ziran's figure would be back to its peak, comparable to Gu Qingcheng and Yunzai. At her peak, Ziran would be both beautiful and have excellent body coordination. Of course, if she gained more weight, her physical beauty would suffer. Xiao Ye prepared a cup of blood and placed it in front of Ziran, smiling, drink up, this is the last cup. After you upgrade your template tomorrow, drinking blood might not have any effect. Ziran stared intently at the bright red blood, its scent filling the air, her beautiful eyes fixed on it. She licked her lips with her little mouth agape, feeling parched. She snatched the cup, tilted her head back, and drank it all in one gulp, feeling somewhat unsatisfied. As the blood entered her body, countless cells frantically absorbed it, drawing in the mysterious factors within. Within seconds, the cup of blood was completely digested. A look of pleasure appeared on Ziran's pure and pretty face, almost causing her to groan aloud. The pleasure came quickly, but it faded just as fast. Half a minute later, her expression returned to normal, her pure, autumn water-like eyes looking dryly at Xiao Ye, and she said, "Can I have another cup?" Smoking and drinking can be addictive. She was addicted to drinking blood. Xiao Ye shook his head. "No. Lie down, I'm going to give you one last massage. To stimulate your body's potential and help your body develop again. This is different from fixing physical defects, that's treating an illness. This is a different effect. Focus on key areas." Ziran and he were an old married couple, so there wasn't much shyness. She directly removed all her coverings and said, "Go ahead." Xiao Ye immediately began. He was already thoroughly familiar with the massage techniques for stimulating the body's potential and could easily apply them. The touch was smooth and comfortable. Ziran's figure had undergone 2 rapid growth spurts, and his massage techniques were becoming increasingly effective. Perhaps because Ziran was frequently moisturized, her skin was becoming better and better. Half an hour later, Xiao Ye clapped his hands and laughed, "The massage is finished. Do you want to get up and feel it, jump around a bit? After tonight, your figure will most likely be back to its peak." Ziran grabbed Xiao Ye and pressed herself against him, giggling, "Why jumping around? I just want to exercise a bit, to get my blood flowing. With you here, I don't need to jump around. Xiao Ye's mouth was silenced. He felt Ziran's madness again, like a wild beast, completely insane. Time passed quickly. The sky outside the window changed from pitch black to pale dawn, then fully bright. When sunlight streamed through the window into the bedroom, Xiao Ye and Ziran groggily opened their eyes. Bang bang bang. A knock came at the door, followed by Jiangzu's melodious voice. My lord, Sister Ziran, it's 8 o'clock. Get up. My lord, should I have Xian and help you get dressed? Xiao Ye said, no need. 10 minutes later, Xiao Ye and Ziran, dressed neatly, arrived at the large living room on the first floor. At the dining table, they were surprised to find it laden with steamed buns, fried dough sticks, and soy milk. Gu Qingchang's white robe was even more fitted, and she wore an apron. Xiao Ye and Ziran sat down casually, picked up a steamed bun without ceremony, and took a bite. The two looked surprised and somewhat puzzled. Why is this bun bitter? Is this what buns from Hangzhou taste like? Gu Qingchang looked at the two of them expectantly, or rather, at Xiao Ye, and asked, how does it taste? Is it good? Ziran put down the bun and said with a strange expression, Qingcheng, I don't like buns from Hangzhou. Buns from the capital are much better. Xiao Ye asked in surprise, Sister Qingcheng, you're wearing an apron, did you make these buns? To be honest, these buns taste really weird. Gu Qingcheng blushed, feeling her cheeks burning, and said, I bought these. That shop is really something, making such bad buns. She was a little frustrated inside, thinking, old Gu. Didn't you say you were a master chef? How come the breakfast you taught me tastes so bad? The divine Gu Qingcheng felt embarrassed and turned her face away, saying, of course. In the next 100 years, I've thoroughly studied the complete cookbook and read all the recipes for various cuisines. Gu Qingcheng questioned, did you even try making it yourself? The spirit Gu Qingcheng paused, startled. No. Gu Qingcheng's face darkened. So you're a theoretical master, but a half-baked one at that. You haven't even tried it yourself, yet you dare to teach me how to make breakfast. The spirit Gu Qingcheng put her hands on her hips. Why don't you try some? I think it tastes pretty good. I'll teach you according to the steps in the cookbook. Gu Qingcheng picked up a steamed bun with some skepticism, put it in her rosy mouth, took a small bite, and chewed it carefully a few times. Then, her pretty face turned a deep purplish red. She immediately spat out a bun. The taste was terrible, unpalatable. Old Gu, don't teach me to cook anymore, she roared in her mind. Gu Qingcheng muttered softly, fine, I won't teach you then. Jiang Zunyu suddenly exclaimed, pointing her slender white finger at Ziran, Sister Ziran, did you put something on? How did you become so magnificent? Gu Qingcheng and Xiao Ye looked over. Their pupils contracted. They saw that Ziran, who had an ordinary figure yesterday, had now become as tall as Mount Everest, extremely voluptuous. Her purple dress was bulging and swollen, as if it was about to burst. It seemed as if what was inside was about to break free and jump out. Ziran looked down and couldn't even see her toes. Her pure and pretty face became very happy. Then, under the strange gazes of everyone, she measured it with both hands on the spot. After getting the result, she exclaimed with delight, Ziran, I'm back. She got up and spread her arms wide in the open space, twirling around, and said happily, Xiao Ye, how is it? Do you like it? Xiao Ye swallowed and said, I like it. At this moment, Ziran's figure had returned to its peak state, with a prominent bust and buttocks. Coupled with her pure, innocent first love face, she was practically a goddess. Gu Qingcheng was also very surprised, but seeing the doting look in Xiao Ye's eyes as he looked at Ziran, she felt a strange pang of bitterness and annoyance. Clatter. Gu Qingcheng accidentally knocked Xiao Ye's chopsticks to the ground. Xiao Ye, you dropped your chopsticks. Xiao Ye snapped out of his daze and crouched under the table to look for them. When he found them, he was astonished to discover that a pair of bare, jade-like feet clad in black stockings were pressing down on them. He looked up from the feet and saw a proud figure and Gu Qingcheng's stunningly beautiful face. Hiss. Xiao Ye gasped. The Empress of Hangzhou was actually wearing black stockings. Chapter 475 The Empress. Xiao Ye reached out and grabbed the chopsticks, trying to pull them out. But Gu Qingcheng had her foot firmly planted, and he couldn't budge it. He looked up, about to speak, when he felt his hand being stepped on. Looking down, He was shocked to find that his hand was being held down by Gu Qingcheng's other black-stockinged foot. "Sister Qingcheng, move your foot a little," he said. Gu Qingcheng seemed not to hear him and continued to press down. Xiao Ye was helpless. Was this Hangzhou Empress doing this on purpose? But why was she doing this? Was she teasing him? The Hangzhou Empress is teasing? Old Gu, is what I'm doing inappropriate? Gu Qingcheng asked in his mind. Gu Qingcheng's face darkened. Why did you step on his hand? Just step on the chopsticks. Let him see what you look like in black stockings. Gu Qingcheng was somewhat tempted. Could he like me? Gu Qingcheng was speechless. You really dare to dream. Oh, I tore my stockings. Sister Qingcheng, won't you beat me up? Xiao Ye got up with a tissue, wiped the chopsticks, and picked up a steamed bun that Ziran had materialized to eat. It was as if nothing had happened. She could tell the stockings were torn. Looking up, she saw Xiao Ye's natural expression. A strange look appeared on Gu Qingcheng's pretty face. She thought to herself, Xiao Ye is indeed a pervert. Half an hour later, everyone had finished eating and drinking. Xiao Ye opened the blue light gate to the bronze hall and said, Sister Ziran, little Nanan, come in. You two need to upgrade. Sister Qingcheng, you can come in too. But don't spread what we'll see later. Keep it a secret. He felt that Gu Qingcheng was already one of his own, Ziran's good sister, so it wouldn't matter if she knew about his template upgrade ability. Therefore, he didn't plan to hide it. Upgrading the template was too shocking, but the Empress of Hangzhou should be able to accept it, right? Zhang Zunan giggled and said, My lord, I've already told the mistress about today's events. She knows that Sister Ziran and I are going to improve our aptitude and upgrade our templates today. Xiao Ye was taken aback, then nodded and smiled. Since you already know, then come along. We're all on the same side, it doesn't matter if she knows. Gu Qingcheng was overjoyed. Just Xiao Ye's words meant that he no longer had any resistance towards her. What she had done these past few days had been very effective. It had truly improved their relationship. Ziran said, Wait, let me change into a bigger dress first. This one feels too tight, it's making me uncomfortable. She skipped upstairs, her skirt swaying. After a while, the group entered the blue light gate and arrived at the 10th floor of the bronze hall, next to the altar. Xiao Ye smiled and said, Sister Ziran, little girl, are you ready? Now I'll upgrade your templates. The two nodded. Xiao Ye and Ziran mobilized their contract power and began to summon their contracted beast, the Taoda Emperor, a SSS-level devouring template. Roar, the two disappeared, and an ancient roar of a ferocious beast resounded. A Taoda Emperor, 5,000 meters long and 2,000 meters tall, appeared in the open space. Its body was covered with jet black scales, emanating a chilling aura. Its crimson eyes shone with a suffocating gaze. Its gaping maw opened, revealing a mouthful of sharp fangs. Gu Qingcheng and Zhang Zunu's pupils contracted upon seeing it. The Taoda Emperor was the king among the Taoda. The Taoda were ancient divine beasts, rumored to be able to devour endlessly, growing stronger with each bite. Their primary focus was eating. Its gaping maw was thousands of meters wide and tall, a truly terrifying sight. Looking only at this summoned beast, the world could never connect it with the pure goddess Ziran. The two were vastly different. My lord's beast looks so cute, Zhang Zunu exclaimed excitedly. Cute? Gu Qingcheng's lips twitched. Her little girl's understanding of these celestial beasts was far too novel. This Taoda Emperor was far less aesthetically pleasing than her summoned beast, the Qilin. Her Qilin summoned beast looked majestic and powerful, with a graceful form. In the Taoda Emperor's mind, Xiao Ye was present in the form of a consciousness. He could sense the Taoda Emperor's immense power. The sacred Taoda Emperor. With every gesture, it could influence the environment. A single careless move could cause cataclysmic damage. Having witnessed the upgrade templates of other beast girls, Ziran immediately took out all 150 rule fragments and crystal core resources, letting them float around her. Xiao Ye controlled the Taoda Emperor, opening its blood-red maw and biting into the void. Boom! A deafening roar rose into the sky. This space was not open, creating a void. But the Bronze Palace contained rules, which repaired the shattered space in milliseconds, instantly restoring it to its original state. Gu Qingcheng blushed inexplicably at the sight, the image of Xiao Ye nibbling at her little feet flashing through her mind. Then, she heard the voice of the Taoda Emperor. The Taoda Emperor spoke in human language, saying, Little girl, you have returned to your starry sky beast form. You can upgrade your aptitude today, but you must provide enough fragments of rules. Only then will your quasi-emperor realm's peak level not drop after you upgrade your aptitude. Zhang Zunyi reached out and pulled out a pile of stellar core fragments and black hole core fragments. Then, she took out 10 complete stellar cores and 10 complete black hole cores, all in a sealed state. Even though they were sealed, the 20 celestial cores still produced enormous phenomena. The 10th level of the Bronze Palace instantly transformed into purgatory with temperatures reaching tens of thousands of degrees. All the free energy in the 10th level was cleansed by the black hole cores. Gu Qingchang gasped. Just how many resources had little girl collected when she followed her future self and Xiao Ye? Even world-shaking treasures like stellar cores and black hole cores. Zhang Zunan chuckled, "My lord, I used these resources to reach the quasi-emperor realm's peak. Will these resources prevent my realm from declining?" Xiao Ye opened the template adjuster and checked her upgrade information: 50 creation type, 50 stellar core fragments, 50 black hole core fragments, resources required to retain realm. 200 supreme realm crystal cores, 200 stellar core fragments, 200 black hole core fragments. Xiao Ye pondered. A complete celestial core is comparable to 50 core fragments. Little Zunan has 10 complete cores, far exceeding the required amount, sufficient for upgrade aptitude. These resources are enough. Upon hearing this, Zhang Zunan's form shifted, as if a dream had been pulled into reality, transforming from a beautiful woman into a towering, powerful beast 10,000 meters tall. A starlight-type starry sky beast. The Tailed Emperor looked like a small fry in comparison, more than twice the size. Xiao Ye issued a command to the template adjuster. Upgrade the templates and talents of Tailed Emperor and Starry Sky Beast. Boom. Boom. The template adjuster was activated immediately. In an instant, two profound and vast powers descended upon Tailed Emperor and Starry Sky Beast, beginning to improve their templates and talents. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.